When I listen to Audible, I'm not flying to my 3rd sales meeting this month. I'm on a romantic date with my vampire boyfriend, Pierre. That pale skin, those dark, mysterious eyes, and those pointy teeth. Take me away, Pierre!
Ma'am?
I want to become queen of the night.
Ma'am, something to drink?
Water, please.
Go to audible.com/start trial and your first download is free. Audible, stories that surround you.
I'm a new recent, listener. I think you are fucking amazing. I wish there were more people like you. I just think, I try and catch listening to your station, whenever I get a chance. I just think you're, straight up, I love the way you just say it like it is. It's fucking amazing. Too bad there are not more guys like you.
I like what you do because not only are you helping these gentlemen, you're also helping us. Because as a woman, I don't want a wimpy guy that I can walk all over. And believe me, I have a million of those guys chasing after me, and they completely turn me off. Women like a strong man. Women like a confident man. They like men that have a life. And they like men that don't drop everything, just because she snaps her fingers.
Have more respect for men that are like you three that keep the shit 1,000 than these motherfuckers that are thirsty and come at right. But it's more of the game, the storylines, the lies. If I had a man that kept shit 1,000 with me and I know he's 100% real, yeah, we're fucking every day if it's by my choice. But motherfuckers out there don't know how to keep shit real, and they think they about real, and they not. They think they know how to fuck, and they don't.
The Man Mindset Show celebrates the strength, wisdom, insight, and purpose men carry throughout their life and throughout this world. Our purpose is to develop strong character, communication skills, and teach a secret system of power, hidden knowledge that will lead you through your own personal development and growth. You will learn new information to help you develop a proactive direction and goals, and also how to control sexual thoughts and outcomes. Most importantly, you will gain the ability to produce desired results in any endeavor undertaken, ultimately leading to a realization of your own purpose and mission in life. Learn how to reinvent yourself and to see the world with a new set of eyes without any self-sabotage or excuses. It's game time!
What up, everybody? What's good? It's your boy, the goddamn Dean. Classes in session, guys. www.themanmindset.com. I am your host. Oh, man, we got a good show for you today. We're going to continue talking about the friend zone and why most of these cupcakes out there fall in the friend zone instead of falling in that ass. And, guys, you can't say ass without smiling. Anyway, Ron, what's good with you, man? What's up, man?
Ain't nothing, brother. Just living, loving, and lusting motherfucking life.
No doubt, no doubt. Guys, y'all want to call in, get your crayons out. The number is 515-605-9373. That is 515-605-9373. And I do want to make a few announcements before we bring in our very special guest. I just want to let you guys know that it's up. I've been telling you all week. I've been trying to get y'all right and prepared for Halloween. So, guys, I go to the Man Mindset. The first thing I got on there is the Halloween costume setup that's going to get you women. And you know what, Rhyme? I even put a warning label on there. I'm warning you guys. I know, see, guys, they want to laugh at your boy. I'm warning you guys. If y'all do this costume, now this costume is for if there's a Halloween at the club, at the colleges, or any party, you put this on and do exactly what I'm telling you to do, you will have women coming up to you, guys. You don't have to do any work. They will come up to you. I have video and audio, and even for you slow motherfuckers, I have pictures. Hey, Ryan, I broke this motherfucker down so great.
Book and shit.
Yeah, the pop-up book and all that, dog. Hey, dog, this shit is so ironclad, guys. There's no reason you have any problems or any troubles getting some of that stuff. Right there, right there.
Think I'm going to be the scapegoat for the whole damn machine? Shit.
You tell him, Pop, but that's what I'm saying, though. But what I want y'all to know that, look, guys, go to the Man Mindset. Y'all good to go. Don't forget, tomorrow, 12 noon Eastern Standard Time, myself and Rosebud Bitter Dose are doing a D&W show where we're reading your emails and we talking that yak to you guys. Don't forget to check us out tomorrow at 12. And Rosebud, Sunday night, 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, let's go ahead and get to the show because, we got a lot to cover and everything. But you know what, guys? Let me take a moment here and everything, dog. And you know what? Hey, Ron, should I start it off like this?
Of course.
No, I ain't gonna start. I ain't trying to get all sentimental and salty and all. Look, let me tell you guys something, man. I don't know. I guess around 9-10 years ago, I met this individual. And I had to test him to see if he was a man. And I came out and pissed him off and everything. And we connected and bonded as men. And This motherfucker, man, is a badass dating coach. He's been teaching guys all over the world about this thing called a Mode 1 approach. Be upfront, be straightforward, and be a motherfucking man when it comes to these women. You know, guys, I don't just bring any old body on this motherfucking show. I got to have men on here, and this is one motherfucking man from Planet Man. And like I say, I think I will apologize to him for crash landing us here on Earth to be around you cupcakes. But anyway, the thing about ALAN Roger Currie, everybody, who is my guest, who's going to be riding with us today, Ryan, is that he's decided to retire from the radio, and that's why we wanted to bring him on, because you know what, fuck it. You know, if he gonna leave on this motherfucking show. He ain't got no choice now. Anyway, he has been on. He's been on for 9 seasons. And guys, a professional is not even close enough to describe this guy. He very professional, very high quality radio shows, and I always call him the Johnny Carlson of Blog Talk Radio because he always interviewing motherfuckers. But I'd be like, Alan, you know what? Why don't you do your own shit, dog? But he like to do his thing, and he even interviewed my cake ass a few times. So after 9 seasons. 236 invited guests, 304 total episodes, millions of listeners and downloads. This motherfucker is on our show today, and I want to bring him in a special way because he asked me to bring him in a special way. So let me find my way. I'm going to bring his ass in.
Oh,
Where is
I
it?
know exactly how you bring it in.
You already know. I'm doing a special doorbell for him. So over here, without further ado, let me go ahead and bring my boy in the right way.
Why y'all want to come into my town and start fucking scare all these nice people? You ain't got nothing better to do than to come into Bill Sharp's town and show your ass.
Hey, all the way from Planet Man. He has a website called Mode1.net. He is the one and only nasty motherfucker, ALAN Roger Currie. Welcome to the show, sir.
Well, thank you for having me, young brother. And what's up, Rhyme?
What's up, Alan? What's good, brother?
Oh, man, not too well. I think he just explained what's up in my world. Yeah, I ended my show. And for those of Steve's listeners that don't know the backstory of how I even started my show, is because of his motherfucking ass that I started my show. Because we fell out on air. Not behind the scenes, not on a private phone conversation, but on air. We fell out. Well, first, I'm going to go even before that. What happened was I had been pitching the ebook version of my book, Mode 1, since I think I came out with that in December 2001. Then I made a name for myself on this site called AskMen.com. I used to go on there and piss everybody off to the point where they banned me like 5 or 6 times for no reason. And then I did this speaking presentation in Chicago on the invitation of this honey I knew. Well, actually, she had challenged me. She before even reading my book, she basically said my book wasn't going to be about shit. So I challenged her to read the book. I said, if you read my ebook and you still feel like it ain't about shit, then she was running a singles organization in Chicago. And I said, you can put it on your singles website that my book ain't shit. But I said, if you like it, though, you got to help me promote it and say my book is the shit. She ended up loving the book, and she invited me to do this speaking presentation in Chicago. I spoke in front of about 40 women, about 25 guys. And some people was hating on it, as expected, but other people loved it. Anyway, at the end of the night, everybody was ready to buy the book. It tripped me out, and I didn't have the book. So my brother was like, man, see, I told you, man, you gotta get that in paperback. And so a couple months later, I turned it into a paperback. That was around March of 2006. And I was real big into this video game called Madden NFL. Some of y'all motherfuckers know what that is. Others, it's just a real popular video game among the fellas. And, yeah, I was real well known in the Madden community back in the day. So they was doing a national tournament, and they was interviewing me on a podcast. Matter of fact, that's the first time I heard a podcast. Was this guy who used to run this Madden tournaments? His name was Swami, and he was interviewing. My nickname in the Madden community was Air Attack. So everybody would call me Air. He's like, "What's up, Air, man? What's up?" We was chopping it up. He said, "So, man, I heard you gonna give up Madden and stuff, man." I said, "Yeah, I done retired a couple times. I always come back, but I think I'm gonna give it up." But I actually did end up coming back. But anyway, so we were talking, and I brought up my book, and he said, "Mo 1, that's cool shit." He said, "Actually, I know another motherfucker that's both a Madden enthusiast, and he deals with dating and relationships. Y'all need to hook up." I said, "Okay, yeah, after the show, man, give me his contact info." And then he told me, he said he goes by the name Coach Ass Kicking, and he does like a podcast show. And yeah, man, here's his contact info, man. You need to reach out to him. I think y'all click because y'all both got two of the same interests, Madden and running women. I said, "Yeah, let me contact this motherfucker." So I write this dude, and I'm going to go out of town. So I think I wrote him maybe on a Wednesday or Thursday. Then I went out of town that Friday. Then I came back in town, and I see where he had sent me some messages, and I think he thought I was blowing him off, but I think I had told him I was out of town. But he wrote me one message, I can't remember, voicemail or email message, but he was like, "Fuck you, motherfucker. Fuck you and your book. You ain't shit. I don't want to hook up with your ass. You ain't shit." I said, "Who is this motherfucker talking to me like this?" So I called this motherfucker, and I proceed to curse his ass. I said, "Who the fuck you think you talking to like this, man? I ain't no regular motherfucker." And this motherfucker just starts chuckling. He goes, and I'm like, "Why is this motherfucker laughing while I'm cursing his ass out?" He was like Denzel when he was in that car in the Training Day. He was like basically like, "My nigga, that's what I'm talking about." He said, "Okay, now you can work with me." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He said, "Man, I had to see if you had backbone and shit. If you was going to let me just talk to you like you was a bitch and take it, then I would have known I couldn't work with your ass, because that would let me know you a soft motherfucker. But you came back hard and shit, showed me you had backbone, so I know you're a real man. I only fuck with real men and shit." And then we ended up both laughing and shit. So we started this show called The Black Book Cafe in October of 2006. And we would do, I want to say, an average of two episodes a month. And then around late March of 2007, he said, hey, man, we going to go to the next level. I said, what's the next level? He said, man, there's this new site called Blog Talk Radio, man. And it's cool because not only does it allow you to create podcasts, but it has a live talk radio portion to it. So our show will be live and people can hear it later as a podcast. I said, oh, shit, that's cool to the motherfucker. So we get on Blog Talk Radio, and y'all listeners know Steve. He just a rabble rouser, man. He just gotta fuck with people, man. He just gotta come into people's town and show his ass.
Show our ass, right? Show our ass.
So instead of just concentrating on his show, he goes and looks for. He said, I want to see who's the most popular motherfucker right now in the category of dating advice shows. And it was this brother named Will Wavy. So Steve was like, man, I'm going to fuck with this motherfucker, man. I was like, man, leave that dude alone. No, man. Now that I'm on here, I want to be the big dog. So I got to fuck with this motherfucker. So he just started talking shit about this motherfucker. And it turns out Will Wavy had a lot of loyal black women as fans. So after he started fucking with Will Wavy, these women who like Will Wavy start talking shit to Steve. And then on one episode, we chop it up, and he says, all you black women ain't nothing but bitches. All y'all ain't nothing but bitches. Then he says, ain't that right, Mode? And I was like, nah, bro, I can't co-sign on that, man. What? Yes, you can. I said, who the fuck called me?
See, that's somebody telling him to move the fuck on and let me ask you some other goddamn questions before we get this shit on the road.
Anyway, I'll sum it up without getting all the details yet. We had a falling out on air, and then I started, first I was pissed at Steve, because I think y'all long-time listeners know me and Steve have had a volatile history. We thick as Steve's one moment, then we fall out, then we make up, we thick as Steve's again, then we fall out, then we thick as Steve's again. We done fell out literally, I want to say 5 times. We done fell out 5 times since I connected with him in fall of 2006. And, but yeah, that was our first time. And I was over here pissed at him. I was mumbling to myself like, man, fuck that motherfucker, man. Fuck that motherfucker. He ain't shit. Fuck you. And my friends was like, man, why don't you start your own show, man? You ain't got to be no permanent guest calls on somebody else's show. Man, you've had radio experience before, which I had. And I said, yeah, fuck it. I'm starting my own show. So anyway, started my own show. I initially called it Balls Out Talk with Mode 1. And I would do a half-hour show on Tuesdays and an hour show on Thursday nights. And I had this one show about female sex toys, and it got real raw and raunchy. Yeah, basically this woman started playing with herself on air. And then either the next day or 2 days later, I got an email from this chick named Amy, was in the upper brass of Blog Talk Radio. And she said, Alan, you can't really do shows like that. Well, actually, she said, you can do a show like that, but you got to label it explicit. And you had it labeled, because they have 3 labels you can have a show. G, general audiences, mature, and explicit. And she said, you got to label your show explicit if you're going to have that type of sex talk. And here's what was funny, though. She said, yes, I listened to that episode about 5, 6 times. I was like, yeah, I know you was playing with that pussy. And she said, you a piece of work. So at that time, it was a big thing to be on the front page. If you got on the main page of Blog Talk Radio, you was like, that meant you was really you doing some shit. So I said, how can I get on the main page? How can I get y'all to give me a shout out on the main page? She said, well, first you got to change the title of your show. She said, that's too provocative, balls out talk. I said, okay, I'll go ahead and see if I can change it to another title. And she said, try to have some guests. She said, the number one shows we typically like to feature is shows that have guests, if not every time, at least a few of the times. You know, we don't really like to feature shows that all they do is talk to their listening audience. I said, okay, I can invite some people. Matter of fact, Steve, you remember this show with, what was it, with Flavor Flav?
Yeah, the Flavor of Love.
Flavor of Love. I remember back then, around the time I asked her how to get on the main page, the number one show was this chick was on Flavor of Love. I can't remember what her name was. White chick, but she acted like a sister. And they used to always hype her stuff up, but she had the most listeners. At that time, they said she had the most listeners on Blog Talk Radio. And,
you got a text from 267-361.
And my phone,
Alan, all right, man, let me ask you these questions, man.
Bleep.
Good Lord, man. Good Lord.
Okay, let me just say a couple things. I'm going to let you ask questions. Okay, so I'm giving this little backstory. So, yeah. So then I changed the name. That was my first episode is upfront and straightforward. Was on June 28th of 2007. I interviewed this guy named Tim Alexander who had done this film called Diary of a Tired Black Man. And then, yeah, over the next 9 seasons, I made it my mission to interview as many of what were considered the top dating and relationship experts in both the country and the world. And some of them I clicked with. Some of them, they didn't like me because I exposed them for being full of shit.
Oh, shit.
And, yeah, but I decided after thinking about all summer, because I told my listeners my last couple months of last season that I was leaning towards the end of the show, but I wasn't 100% decided. But then just about a week ago, I made the permanent decision to end my show. You know, I'm proud of the show I did. I think it helped out a lot of people. And so anyway, that's that. That was the long version of where I started and where I ended.
Well, you know, and again, for the record, everybody, I have been behind the scenes trying to negotiate with him, trying to make him offers he couldn't refuse to bring back the Black Book Cafe and do it live. But he said no, but don't worry, guys. I will keep continuously trying every little while to get him to change his mind so we can bring back the Black Book Cafe. So if anybody on the Alan Roger Currie fan page, the quote-unquote upfront and straightforward page, please go ahead and write some, get some signatures or something. Maybe we can get Alan to change his mind. But, guys, if y'all want to call into the show, the number is 515-605-9373. That is 515-605-9373. We have Ryan, we have Alan here, and we are going to be discussing the Friend Zone Part 2 and getting Alan's and Ryan's and mine and your calls as well. We're going to be discussing that, but before we do, just want to ask Alan a few more questions and everything. Alan, can you tell my listeners about your latest audiobook, The Beta Male Revolution, and what that is all about, big dog?
Yeah, man. That's my latest. It's in 3 versions. I got an ebook version, a paperback version, and an audiobook version. It sold real well last month. Matter of fact, August was my second best month ever for audiobook sales. And a large reason why was because of the sales of the Beta Male Revolution. And to sum up that book, I would almost call it a prequel. You know, that's a term used with movies these days. You know, like Star Wars came out with episode 4, 5, and 6 first, and then they came out with 1, 2, 3. Well, that's kind of how I look at the Beta Male Revolution. If all my other books was episode 4, 5, 6, the Beta Male Revolution, I look at that as episode 1 and 2. Because I go back in history of dating and relationships in this country, and the 2 decades that changed dating relationships the most which is the 1960s and 1970s. And then what I go on to say in the book is that, okay, well, I guess I got to give a little detail. See, for those of you who just, I'm going to talk to you like y'all clueless, like y'all don't know nothing about dating relationships. In a nutshell, now there's always exceptions to the rules, so there was exceptions to this. So I'm going to do some generalizing.
You can't cuss on the show. You can say motherfuckers, bitches, and whores if you want, but go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, here's the deal, y'all naive motherfuckers. Before the 1960s, women really couldn't do shit without a green light from their father. So if you was a woman, you couldn't just get any boyfriend you wanted to. You had to ask your father, could I date this guy? And if your father said yes, you could date him. You damn sure couldn't fuck, because you was going to get kicked out the crib.
Oh,
and that's why you had some women... That's why you had some women who were considered runaways. They would be runaways because, a lot of fathers would kick women out the crib, or if they didn't kick them out the crib, they would, really come down on them real hard. And if you got pregnant,
I was
Lord,
going to say that. You got shipped down south.
You was going to get disowned. Literally my mother knew women who got disowned by their family for getting pregnant. So that's how strict things were back in the day.
It was beautiful. It was beautiful. It was beautiful.
Particularly for you women. I don't know how many women are listening right now, but see, all this freedom y'all got today, that wasn't always the case. See, fathers was the end-all, be-all of everything. If your father didn't approve of something, you wasn't doing shit. Okay? And then what happened, some women started getting pissed over a few decades and said, well, I want to go through my father's thing. I want to do that.
Oh, my period. Oh, my gosh.
I want to see if I want to fuck Leon in my class. I want to fuck him. So then, all these women joined and called it. Now, there had already been one version of feminism in the 19th century, and that mainly centered around women gaining the right to vote. But this, what was called the second wave of feminism, happened in the 1960s and 1970s. Now, see, here's where I break down in my book. The thing you always heard about in the media was that women wanted more employment opportunities, which they did. Mm-hmm. And I would say they deserved to be able to make some money if they wanted to.
Yes.
And they wanted, salary earning opportunities and all that. But the part that they didn't talk about with the second wave of feminism is that on a personal and social level, based on what I already told you a few minutes ago, women wanted the freedom to be able to date who they wanted to date, fuck who they wanted to fuck and not have to wait until marriage to do it. So, starting with the and that coincided with two other things that happened. In the 1960s, not only did you have second wave of feminism, but you had the introduction of the birth control pill. That changed things big time. In the early 70s, I want to say 1973 specifically, they had the legalization of abortion. That changed a lot of shit. Then you had what was known as the free love movement or the sexual revolution. So all that combined together, the basic end result was women now could fuck before they got married. They could fuck whoever they wanted to fuck. And now some people say, what's wrong with that? Women deserve the freedom to fuck who they wanted to fuck. Well, you can say it was a plus and a minus. Here's what happened. For men, it was kind of both beneficial and detrimental. If you was a smooth motherfucker, a player type motherfucker who knew how to handle your business in bed, hell, it was a good thing because you was starting to get pussy left and right. You didn't have to put a ring on a woman's finger to fuck her. You didn't have to go steady with her for months. You could just meet a woman on Monday and fuck her on Tuesday. Now, for those motherfuckers that were kind of, for lack of better words, kind of a little nerdy, a little geeky, what I call more the beta male types, them motherfuckers start either A, just getting ignored, or if they have money, women would act like they were in love with the beta males so that they could take advantage of them financially, but on the side, they was fucking the smooth motherfuckers.
Now, hold your thought 1 second, Alan. We do have a phone call. Guys, I want to call in. The number is 515-605-9373. That is 515-605-9373. We are here with Alan Roger Currie, myself, and Ron Sabatore. And you know what? We are getting into some good shit because all of this is going to come full circle and connect to the Friend Zone show. It's perfect. Anyway, let's go and bring the first caller, shall we?
Hey, you guys! Cut that bitch off!
Well, we guess we did cut that bitch off because the motherfucker jumped out the ring. He just pressed one. The motherfucker came in, then he fell the fuck out. Excuse me. You should have came back. Come back in, and we'll bring you back in 6-7, whatever the fuck your number is. Oh, wait. Let me see if you back in and shit. Are you back in 6-7? Here you go, 667. Wait, hold on. Let me bring you. I hit the wrong button. Damn it. Hold on. Let me put you back in. Let me mute you, and then let me bring in Erico 667. You on? What's your name? Where you calling from, man?
Hey, what's going on, man? This is Baltimore.
Oh, what up, Baltimore? You got a question to comment? What you got, man? What's up?
Yeah, man, I got a question, man. I just wanted to get my input on something as well. My input is, first of all, is like your speaker. I didn't get his name or whatnot yet.
Alan Roger Currie. I know I'm gonna give you more information all throughout the show, but he's Alan Roger Currie from Mode1.net.
Okay, cool. I wanted to speak on something he said, and that actually is still going on right at this moment in time, to this day, at this moment right now. You know what I'm saying? And on top of that, my question is, why do females have a double standard thing? You know what I'm saying? Like, as far as this, what I was listening to a conversation today at my work. Some females was talking and they brought up something like it didn't make sense because it's like,
what's the double standard? Go ahead. What did they say?
Basically, they want to sexualize themselves, but they still want a dude to actually try to get to know them. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, if you're doing this with everybody, like you feel as though you can do what you want to do with whoever you want to do it. Why, if that's the case, so it should just be, man, you just doing that. And
no, it can't be that. No, Baltimore, and I'll throw it to Alan after this and Ron. It can't be that way, Baltimore. Like I told you before, women hunt you guys. See, here's the thing. See, a woman cannot control a man because a man doesn't play by the rules that these women have set for these weak-ass motherfuckers. So what happens is, like, say, you have guys like Rhyme, Allen, Squid, the fellas, Rosebud, you have these kind of guys. We don't play by that bullshit. We let these women know from the get-go that we don't want to be your best friend and we want that ass. Whereas most other guys who are afraid, no comfort zone, they have fear and all these other things and make excuses, they walk on eggshells. And what happens is these women are not stupid. They may be naive, but they're not stupid. And they can smell a weak-ass motherfucker from afar away. And what they do is, look, if you're not worth her time, you're going to have to really pay for her time by buying her drinks and dinners and trips and holding her purse, putting up her Christmas lights, like I've always said. That's the double standard has to be there because there's nothing special about them. I'm just saying you, Baltimore. I'm just saying for those who are listening. There's nothing special about most of these guys to where a woman wants to fuck them. Now, if she realizes there's nothing special about you, you have to work for that pussy. Whereas guys like us, we can get that pussy that week, if not that day. Alan?
And that's what I wanted to speak on, because when I was at work, I actually was listening into a conversation. I was like just that fly on the wall, you know what I'm saying? I was eating my lunch. They wasn't even paying me no attention. And it's like they was just talking about that, like how they got different dudes. Like they was talking about this Facebook thing. It's crazy, man. And they all got boyfriends, and they was up there. Yeah, and they was up there telling each other, like, huh?
They It's supposed to, dog. That's how it's supposed. Let me hold on, dog. Let me bring you up here real quick. Let's talk for a second.
Meanwhile, at the Hall of Justice.
All right, 667. You are. Hey, look, 667. You see up here in the clouds over here in Mount Olympus in the Hall of Justice. See up here are rules where we all hunt the beta male in our own way. Okay, let me explain this real quick before I toss the apple. See, you have the marketing and advertisers. They're going to sell sex to sell their products to these suckers because they make these suckers think that if they spray something on their body, they drink this beer, they put this on or they drive that, they can get the pussy, okay? Then on the other side, you got the PUAs. Even though they ain't shit, they're up there too because they give these betas these fake pills of dreams of they can get the pussy if they do these kooky ass things, okay? Then you have the women who work with the PUAs because as soon as you get marked by a PUA, they know you're a sucker, they know you're weak, and they're going to use you for your finances, your dinners, and all the other stuff. Then you have us, okay? Now, we hunt the betas too, but it's nothing gay. The way we hunt it is, see, you betas have this new thing where y'all hang out with women. Y'all ain't trying to fuck them. Y'all just hanging out with them. So why do we need to go and do all the work when you have done all the work for us? All we have to do is friend you. You're going to bring us into the group like a Trojan horse, and we're going to fuck them all from within and keep shit moving. So everybody uses the beta male for their own purposes up here. But I wanted to show you up here so you can look down below and see why it's so great being up here than down there. Alan, what you got on that, man?
Well, you know what's funny, Baltimore, I don't know if you heard me giving my little backstory of how I connected with Steve, but me and Steve used to do this show, the Black Book Cafe. And one of the funniest episodes, and this is when, for me, when I knew Steve was a real motherfucker and not just fronting, is that it would be certain things I bring up that he would immediately be like, yeah, I did the same thing. And we would start laughing. Now, neither me or him have been what I would call officially street pimps, but informally, we pimped out women. And, like, one story we told Black Book Cafe is how, like, one of the things I used to do with women in my more scandalous days is I would encourage them to go out with a beta male. And I would tell the women to make sure that he took them to an expensive restaurant. And I would have those women bring me back an expensive doggy bag on this motherfucker's time. And he was like, yeah, man, I used to do the same shit before I met my wife. And we was laughing about it. But that's just that scenario alone lets you know. It's just like, if you got a motherfucker like Steve or Rhyme or whoever, again, a smooth player type motherfucker. Okay, let's use Rhyme for example. Let's say a woman meets Rhyme and Rhyme just fucks the shit out of her. Like, she just like, damn, I gotta get some more of that dick. But let's say Rhyme's weakness is he's in between jobs, you know. Because he just ain't he's in a zone where he ain't really focused on career improvement. So he jumping from job to job. So she says, well, damn, I can't ask Rhyme to help me pay no bills. And even if he had the money, he'd probably say, fuck you, bitch, I ain't paying shit anyway. So this woman goes out and says, damn, let me see if one of these goober motherfuckers who I see driving these nice cars, and then they just bat their eyes and say, hey, Henry. And Henry come out the IT office, he like, yeah, you never spoke to me before. She like, golly, is that a new shirt you're wearing? Hey, you want to take me out, big boy? And he about comes on himself just over the fact that she talking to him. And, I mean, you know, we're laughing about it, but honestly, it's really fucked up how women use these motherfuckers
it's real,
the way they do.
A lot of dudes be like that because they can't see past the titties, the ass, the nice body, and if you can see past that shit'll fucking break them real quick, and it gives you an advantage where as though you can kind of maneuver without having that on your mind. You know what I'm saying? Like just having that blind everything.
Yeah, and see what happened, what I explained in my new book called The Beta Male Revolution is, a lot of these beta males for a few years, I'd say, starting with the 1980s all the way into the advent of the internet, a lot of them was clueless. Because their mothers taught them, you ask a woman out on a date, you bring flowers on the first date, you treat them nice, you don't bring up sex. And they thought, why would they think there was any other alternative? And then what happened is the internet happened, and then what's now known as the manosphere began to develop. And what basically had happened is motherfuckers like me, Steve, Ryan, whoever was a player type motherfucker, they start sharing their experiences with these beta males, and beta males was like, holy shit, are you fucking kidding me? Wait, you met a woman on Monday, and you fucked her on Wednesday? Are you kidding me?
Right.
You put a ring on her finger? Are you serious? Wait, she sucked your dick the same day you met her? Oh, fuck, get the fuck out of here.
Even within a couple of seconds, the motherfucker be like,
Yeah, you're right. Where they don't, and I told you, Alan, what they can't understand is they put in months, if not years, into these women. They put time into these women, and it never works out for them, Alan.
Yeah, exactly. Like when I used to be on this site, Ask Me, and that was probably the first site I went to where I used to share information. And some of those reactions, that was just only a little bit exaggerated, but that's how guys would write me. They would be like, because my most infamous story among my listeners is I met a woman one time in '86 in a grocery store in Bloomington, Indiana. And 10 minutes after I met her, she was on her knees sucking my dick in the grocery store. So I see this story.
Alan, why don't you tell them, since you going off there anyway, why don't you tell them the creme de la creme of which you now Baltimore, you need to hear how smooth Alan is. I'm giving this man a shot. He's smooth as fuck. Now, Alan, I'm gonna alley-oop you because I know you know what I'm about to talk about. I used to argue with this chick. I'm not gonna say her name. I used to argue with this chick. Okay, she used to fucking hate my ass. All right. Now, Alan, like Ryan and like the fellas, we have this thing, Baltimore, called the gift of gab. We know if we get the one, look, if the woman even gives us a sniff, that means get us on the phone. It'll be the internet, the message, Facebook, Instagram. It don't matter what it is. It's a wrap because we can talk her out the pussy over the phone and make her come before we even get the pussy. That's the shit we always talk. Alan can do the same thing. But Alan, now let me tell you, Alan loves to make women play their pussy. He loves talking to her. That's his thing. Now, Alan, why don't you tell him quickly the story of the woman who hated me so much? What did you get her to do?
Yeah, man, this is a trip, Baltimore, man. This sister, she listened to my show, and me and her, like I think the first conversation we had phone sex, and we started having phone sex on a regular basis. So in a lot of our conversations, she would be bringing up Steve. She would be like, I know you friends with that guy named Steve. I can't stand him. He made me sick. He an asshole. He a jerk. He don't respect women. He just something wrong with. It's like she was trying to get me to co-sign with her criticisms. And I think the first couple times she did it, I was just going, yeah, okay, So I think about the third time she did it, I got tired of it. I said, bitch, shut the fuck up. She said, you ain't gonna talk to me like that. I said, bitch, shut the fuck up. You're so full of shit. She said, why are you saying that to me? I said, because you're talking about how much you can't stand Steve, but yet you listen to the motherfucking show every week. Do you or do you not? She paused. I said, bitch, answer the goddamn question. She said, yeah, I do. I said, say it. Say what? I said, say it. I listen to Steve's show every week. She said, I listen to Steve's show every week. I said, say it again. She said, I listen to Steve's show. And I said, yeah, when he talk, he gets your pussy wet, don't he? Tell me the truth. Don't lie to me. She said, why are you saying this? I said, say it. She said, okay, yeah, he gets my pussy wet. I said, say it again.
Damn.
He kissed my pussy. I said, play with that pussy and say my boy's name. I said, play with your pussy and say, I love listening to Stevie Dean Williams. This bitch started playing with her pussy. She said, I love listening to Stevie Dean Williams. I said, say it again. She said, I love listening. I said, you know what? If I was fucking you and he came in the room, I would say, yo, man, come closer, man. Bitch, suck his dick. And you know what you would do? You would suck his dick, wouldn't you? Say it. Yeah, I would suck his dick. And I just had her, I had her talking about this motherfucker sucking his dick, him fucking her. And it just shows you how full shit women are. They call themselves complaining.
You remind me of one of my old friends, man, that can get a bitch to do anything like that, man.
But
like, it was like
Baltimore, that's what I'm telling you about the double standard. See, here's the thing. When a woman knows that she's around a motherfucking man, she knows this to be true. That we have other women in our stock, and we can get other women, and she's got to prove her value and worth to us. We don't have to do too much shit. That's where y'all guys get everything fucked up. You think you have to prove yourself to her, and that's why you get that double standard. Not you, but those like you who think, you know what I mean, who think like, okay, well, I have to be nice to her because, you know, if I, you know, she'll say, well, I want a guy, you know, always, hey, Alan and Rhyme, always her wants. I want him to open the door. I want him to treat me with respect. I want him to do this, and I want him to do that. And I want him to grab my Tampaxes and stuff and put them inside me and hold my legs. I mean, they would come with all these fucking wants, and you motherfuckers will listen, write that shit down, put a tattoo on your body, and follow the instructions to the letter. And as soon as she realizes that you are weak, she doesn't want you anymore because there's nothing special about you. Ryan, what do you have on that, Ryan?
I mean, no doubt, it's so deep. Like, these guys think that these women are like Molly McButter out this motherfucker, and they don't want to get their pussies licked and their asses fucked and spit in their mouth and called a whore. They love that shit, and they'll have 7 different dudes that won't equal up to one of us.
Yep.
So they'll have the guy for the food. They'll have the guy to work on the car. They'll have the guy to take them shopping. They'll have the guy to pay his rent. They have the guy that fucking pays for a cookie cutter motherfucker that can sit and mold into anything that she fucking wants and anything that she fucking needs. But
Ryan. She also has a cookie. Are you ready for this, Baltimore? She calls at 11:30 at night when Alan Roger Currie has left her apartment or house. She has a guy to come over with a bucket of ice cream and some fuzzy slippers and a shoulder pad so she can cry on his shoulder, bitch, whine, moan, complain about Alan. And Alan and Rob, you know this is why we love these guys, Baltimore, because you guys sell us to the women, and y'all don't even realize y'all are doing that shit. Because you know what you say? But don't mess with him. He's a jerk. He doesn't love you. He doesn't care about you. He's fucking other women. He wants to fuck this and fuck that. He's not right for you. Ryan?
And you want to know how I know that's true? Because I had a situation like that one time, you know. The girl, she actually left her husband during the game. Well, I don't know if it was a husband or boyfriend, but that's what she called him. But they wasn't, like, legally married. But you know what I'm saying? She left him, ordered him some food, and came over to our party and was over there with us. And I was like, hold up, man. That's crazy, though. You know what I'm saying? That's why I was like, the double standard. That's why I couldn't understand it. So it's like,
normal.
You doing this man like that, but then you over here partying like this.
It's normal because what they're going to do is secure the beta male for whatever she needs, whether it's food or up to marriage. She's going to get that big house. I've heard, like, I worked 17 years at a hotel, bro. I heard these women talk about this shit. I was fucking this guy, that guy, but, you know, Jared really had his shit together. So I went ahead and married him, had him a couple of kids, but she kept fucking the other dude.
And that's my question. That's one of my questions I wanted to ask. Cause it seemed like I'm always on that, and that's the pattern that I came across. It seemed like, and I thought it was something wrong with me because society pictured you was supposed to be that guy, and I'm always on the other side and hearing the girl talk about this and what's going on with this guy, and she dealing, going back home with him, and he got the whole setup. He got a home with her. You know what I'm saying? He got an establishment, but the whole time she was hitting me on the side. So I'm like, why the fuck?
See, Baltimore, the rabbit hole gets deeper, man, because, I ain't going to get too detailed, but it's like this. And this also relates to when me and Steve used to do the Black Book Cafe. One of the things I used to complain about on that show is before I really got into dating culture full time, I was pursuing a career in the entertainment industry. But I always had beef with the entertainment industry. I still do. Because one of the biggest culprits that sends out the message to men in society that is actually to your benefit to be a beta male is Hollywood. With their various TV shows, most TV shows, they promote beta male characters. Most movies, they show the beta male getting the girl at the end of the movie. So all these men say, shit, man, I need to be the beta male because I saw this one movie, but the shit didn't realize that shit's a fucking illusion. That's fantasy to sell fucking movie tickets. Because in real life, the beta male goes home and jacks the fuck off, fantasizing about a bitch. Now, I'll tell you what movie that, if there's been a few movies that kept it real, there's this movie, it's an old movie about this dude in high school. It's in my book, The Beta Male Revolution. Love, American Style, or something like that. This jock, who's just like this alpha male asshole type, fucks this woman and gets her pregnant. And then one of his high school classmates, he ends up talking to the girl and goes, look, I'm pregnant. He's not going to take care of the baby. And he's like, oh, I hope you take care of the baby. He's Captain Saberho and shit. He puts on his cape. And for the rest of the movie, he's like King Beta Male. He's just always, doing everything for this woman. But at the end of the movie, now she finally decides to have an abortion. Now, the beta man didn't want to have an abortion, but she decided to have an abortion. And he thought she was going, he did all these things. I think he helped pay for it, I want to say. And I'm just totally throwing spoilers of the movie. But at the end of the movie, she ends up going back to the asshole.
Yes.
And the beta man is just standing there looking like he's about to cry and shit.
Yeah, that's the last American version.
And this one of my questions, man. That's why I be feeling like, cause that's one of my modes, and I be pulling these chicks up on it after a while. I be asking them that, and they always say they don't know why. And then I be
don't. Okay, look. You leave the Serengeti the way it is. You don't need to ask the zebras why they zebras. You don't need to ask the elk why they eat grass. All you need to do is understand is, look, the law of the jungle is this. We eat, they supply the food for us to eat. That's it. Period.
What? Funny. Baltimore, bless your heart, man. I ain't trying to talk about you, but I'm just picturing you, Baltimore. If animals could talk and you was a zebra, you would probably go up to the lion, hey, you ain't going to eat me, are you? The lions would look at each other. They'd be like, no, man. We ain't going to eat you, man. You cool. Like, okay, thanks. I just wondered, man, because see, like, you're always eating and shit. They're like, no, man, we ain't going to fuck with you. As soon as you stop.
Eat that motherfucker. But the thing is this, Baltimore, here's the thing. The thing in the Serengeti, there's a new kind of lion out there, dog. And he goes, purr, purr, purr. And that motherfucker eats grass. He hangs out with the zebras. He sleeps with the elk. He's friendly to all the other animals out there. And that is, look, guys, look. So you understand something. Look, dog. The reason it has to be this way, okay, let's think about that. Now, I want you to think about this for a second, Baltimore. Think about this. You know, if everybody thought like Alan, like Mode, Alan is Mode, like Alan, like Rhyme, like Rosebud, you understand the economy would crash. You do understand that. And let me explain. The diamond ring industry, gone. Flower industry, gone. The marriage industry, gone. These are the big dogs. All these things will be gone. The restaurant business, gone. Valentine's Day, gone. Christmas would be for kids only. And this is what I'm talking about, dog. So we need more of them out there doing the work for us. So all we got to do, like I say, Alan has a nice little red chair. Rhyme is green. I have a blue one. Rosebud has a red one. And we all just sitting in this big tree of apples. And we watch y'all climb up
this
top.
This the thing right here. This the thing right here. I ain't mean to cut you up, but this the thing right here. You got to remember the lion. Yeah, he's definitely out, and he's doing what he's doing. And you got to understand that animal still has a defense mechanism. And you got to think, too, because I've seen this. Like, I see this all the time, because these chicks be doing these dudes real dirty. Like, they're doing them dirty.
Wait. They ain't doing us dirty. See that, Baltimore? They're not doing us dirty because they can't get away with shit with us.
Right,
because
and the thing about it, the dudes, the beta males, the cookie cutters, and the zebras, they defense mechanism kick in, and then that's when you run into these situations like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
what defense mechanism does a beta have but to bitch up? He doesn't have a spine. He doesn't have any balls. So what defense mechanism do you have? Crying? What's his defense mechanism?
Yeah, you right.
Yeah, see, go ahead, Alan. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to quickly say, Baltimore, see, here's the problem with the beta males, and this is why I'm in the business that I do. I work with clients, and I'm going to go out in L.A. in a few weeks and work with a couple of clients, but there's a term I always talk about when I do workshops and work with clients, and that's called social programming. And social programming is not all bad, but it's not all good. I'll give you an example of good social programming. Is when you learn to drive, you're taught by your driver's ed teacher to stop at the red light and, slow down at the yellow light. And so the way we get to a point where we naturally react to red light, yellow light, green light, we didn't come out the womb knowing about no red lights and yellow lights and green lights. That came from a certain form of brainwashing. And all of us from the time we're young were brainwashed to gravitate towards certain things, do certain things, avoid other things. And again, some of that social programming we gain is to our benefit. So I would never just cross the board and say social programming is a bad thing. But as it relates to dating and relationships, the biggest problem with beta males is that, again, they buy in to faulty, invalid social programming. Like they listen to their mother say, well, you want to be a gentleman, so you want to bring the girl flowers on the first date, and you want to give her a Hallmark card on Valentine's Day, and you want to avoid talking about sex for, the first 20 conversations, and they grow up from the time they're 11 years old. That's beat into their head. So when they come to a motherfucker like me, Steve, Ryan, whoever, they're not going to immediately absorb what we say because they're going to be like, nah, that's bullshit. Because my mother been telling me since I was 12 years old to be a polite gentleman. So a lot of guys are resistant until they actually see some shit, see hardcore evidence, or at least listen to you tell a story and somebody else back it up. And that's when they're like, God damn. Because that's the clients of mine that are easiest to work with is the ones who within a matter of just a few days or a couple of weeks say, damn, Alan, I've been bamboozled, man. What the fuck?
Alan, Big Dog, that I always tell these guys, the one that can give you the harsh truth is asking your single mother. Because all you do is ask mom, why isn't dad around? You know what she's going to tell you guys? He was immature. He was irresponsible. He was seeing other women. He was doing this. He was doing that. And all you got to do is like, Mom, why'd you fuck him then? If he was all those bad things, because you telling me, first off, you telling me you want me to treat women like this, this, and this, but all of a sudden, you gave the pussy up to a motherfucker that was treating you like shit.
Right. Hey, check this out. Look. Check this out, right? This how cold they is, man. This why I said I wanted to ask a question. That's why I asked some of these females. Why? Look, this how cold some of them is. They'll go on their lunch break, go over a nigga house, smoke with him. It'll be another new nigga over there. They'll get introduced with him. Next thing you know, she done topped both of them off, went back to work, and then go back home to him, and it's like that. You don't think that's fucked up?
No, of course it's fucked up. Hey, listen, it's fucked up. Baltimore. It's fucked up, but that's the way it has to be. And I don't try to scare straight the cookie cutters. I just want to be real with them, like Alan and Rhyme and all we are real with you guys. See, the thing about the cookie cutter is you guys can only offer a woman 25% of something. Maybe 14.5 for some of you. You can only offer 25%. So that may be 25% of security. That may be 25% of being able to snuggle with her. That may be 25% of you giving her your balls or your spine. You can only give her 25%. She's always going to look for 100. And if she can't find 25 in you, she's going to get to the other motherfucker and get 25 off of him, and then 25 off the next one, and 25 till she gets her 100. She's going to keep hopping around until she runs into motherfuckers like us. Because we will give her not 100, we give her infinity. She can't even understand who the fuck we are. Because all her life, she has been dealing with you 25% type motherfuckers. That's why we call y'all cookie cutters. Because you may get the woman. And Alan will tell you, you can get married. You can even have kids with this woman. But you know what? At the end of the day, she's going to realize that you ain't shit. She made a mistake. And guess what? She wants something better.
See, I would never put myself in that position, man. You know what I'm saying? See, I ain't that fool that some of these guys out here, man. You know?
Before I throw to Alan, your problem is you talking to the women. Don't ever get advice from a fucking woman because they ain't gonna tell you the truth. Alan, go ahead, man.
Yeah, it's like if you heard me talking about my book, is that this is why things changed because. Before the 1960s and 1970s, when pretty much everybody was just doing the monogamous thing and waiting till marriage to have sex, these women pretty much had to go for the total package. So they looking for a guy who they thought they would enjoy having sex with, they thought they would enjoy spending time with non-sexually, they thought would be a good provider. But then, once you got this freestyle fucking implemented in society, the thing that happened for women is that they were able to, some people might not be familiar with this term, compartmentalize. And what that means is hook up with people for specific purposes to fill very specific needs. So in a nutshell, starting with the 1960s and 1970s and beyond, instead of women looking for, say, a guy who was the quote-unquote total package, they would say, okay, I'm going to hook up with Ryan or Steve just to get some good dick. Then I'm going to hook up with Fred to make me laugh and go to the movies with. Then I'm going to hook up with Herbert because his family gave him a lot of money and he likes to be generous with women. So you got a lot of women out here hooking up with one motherfucker for dick, one motherfucker for entertaining social companionship, and another motherfucker for financial favors. And that's still going on to this day. But see, the women, like Steve said, you don't want to talk to women about it, because if you're one of the motherfuckers, now if you're a motherfucker for dick, they're going to be real with you. I put that on Twitter just a couple months ago. I said the most number one time women going to be real with you is if you're the motherfucker that they just want dick. But if you're the motherfucker that they want entertaining social companionship from or financial favors from, guess what they going to do? And I break this down in my book. They going to give you the impression.
They going to get the lies. They going to give
you the impression that the motherfuckers who give them good dick are assholes. They going to say, oh, yeah, you know this guy named Ryan? And you say, yeah, Ryan, yeah, I'm familiar with that guy. Yeah, you know what he does? He forces my hand down on his dick and he just like fucks me mouth and then he shoots cum all in my mouth without asking. God, that dude Ryan is an asshole. I can't believe it. So he doesn't even ask your permission to come in your mouth. No, don't you think he's a dick for doing that? Yeah, he's an asshole. I'll save you from that asshole. And then they know they got a sucker. Once you start acting like I'm gonna save you from that asshole, the women just smiling like.
And you know what? I seen it in real life. Like, if these dudes seen it, like, with their own eyes, how this go down, they would be like, oh, my God. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
like,
they can't. Okay, we got to take a break. But Baltimore, hold on real quick, Baltimore. They can't see it because, again, their mindset is the world is flat. They don't go beyond the edge. So they are only they're learning, like Alan said, is through the media, their loser friends, or a group of fucking women, or their mother. That's all they get it from. That's it. So, real quick, guys, we're going to take a real quick break. We're here with Alan Roger Currie, Rhyme, and myself. We're going to take your calls on the other side of the hour, but let's take a quick break, and we'll be right back. Check this out real quick, guys.
You're right. It all fell apart, you know, because I'm a horrible person.
No, you're not a horrible person.
Yes, I am. I'm a liar, and I'm a horrible person, and you know, I never even deserved him. I didn't.
No, you know what? He's an idiot to let you go.
No.
All right? No matter what you did, he's an idiot to let you go, okay? Anyone would be lucky to have you. Anyone.
What the hell is that?
I'm sorry.
You're my friend. You're gay. You're my gay friend.
Oh, screw it. I'm not gay.
What?
I'm not gay. I've never been gay. I don't have sex with men, and they don't have sex with me. Wow.
So when you just kissed me just then, you were like...
I'm in love with you.
What?
I've been in love with you since I met you. Every time you turn your back to me, I sniff your hair. I went into business with you so I could be near you. I hate cooking. I want to throw up every time I cut a fish. God, you have got to be the worst psychic in the history of time. How could you not know any of this?
Why did you just, tell me?
Okay, remember when we met? And we started, going out to lunch and dinner and talking on the phone all day and all night. I thought we were dating. And then, after a week, we went to a movie. I was just about to kiss you. And you turned to me, and you said, I love having a gay friend to talk to. I could never be this comfortable with a straight man. What was I supposed to do?
You waited a week to make your move. Of course I thought you were gay.
I was taking it slow.
5 years, one kiss, that's not slow. That's family.
I'm sorry. I missed my window. I was waiting for it to come back around again.
God damn, you betrayed me.
Betrayed you?
Yeah.
Ashley, I love you. You think it was easy for me listening to you talk about other guys? Watching mind-numbingly boring romantic movies and pretending to cry, going shopping with you and giving you advice on clothes? Do you know how much of the last 5 years I have spent learning about clothes? This shirt cost me $175. And I hate it. I hate it.
I love that shirt.
Before this whole stupid thing, I probably spent $100 a year on clothes. Now I spend that much every 3 weeks on this haircut, which I also hate.
We took bubble baths together.
Yeah. Now can you see how hard it was for me?
I just wanted to cry on my gay friend.
Okay, guys. www.themanmindset.com. We are discussing.
Oh, boy.
Oh, yeah.
Damn.
Oh, yeah, guys. Y'all want to call in? The number is 515-605-9373. That is 515-605-9373. We're here with Alan Roger Currie from Mo1.net, my boy Rhyme, and myself, the Dean. And we are here to take your calls because we are here to talk about the Friend Zone Part 2. And we want you guys calling up there. We got a call right now. Let's bring in the call and everything. Let's go ahead and do this. Oh, my God. We got a few calls in. Guys, appreciate y'all. All right, let's go ahead and hold on, guys. Damn, y'all been hitting that button and shit. Give me a second to let me cue y'all motherfuckers up to get y'all in right. Let's get y'all in right. Let's go do it.
Hey, you guys! Cut that bitch off!
Cut that bitch off. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Oh, man, this is Kenneth from Detroit. Kenneth Warren from Detroit.
What up?
What's good with you, man?
What up, Kenneth?
Okay. Hey, I had to say, y'all dropping some hella bombs on here. Y'all done blew it up. I was only about to try to listen for about 15 minutes. I ended up listening the whole hour. But Steve, I want to see about getting some of them MP3s of the wino or something. I want to see if I can talk to you and see about getting some of. I want to ride around my car and listen to the wino, cause he hard.
The wino, which
all the shit he say. I just wanted to see if I could get that somehow where I could put it on my.
You talking about Grady and shit? Oh, okay.
Yeah, whatever he is.
Bitch, I don't give a fuck what your name is. If you're not against oppression and injustice, fuck your name.
Hey, slow down, Grady. What's the problem?
What the fuck entitles you to throw anything on me? I'll beat the shit out your ass. You throw something on me.
All right, man. Hey, look, I'll throw you some more Grady. You can record it. Here's another Grady.
Anybody resisting? Goddamn, my ass kiss it. Whatever, then I'm wrong. You got me now. Oh, you figured me out. You fucking income fucking poop. You figured me out. You got me red-handed.
All right, man.
That's what I'm talking about. Hey, I want to see if I can get them somehow. If I can email you or something.
Yeah, just hit me at the Man Mindset, dog, and I'll connect you, big dog. Yeah, hit me at the Man Mindset. Yeah, I got you. I'll take care of you, big dog. I'll take care of you, man.
My nigga. All right, keep dropping bombs.
Yeah, I got you, man. And let's see. I got one more Grady for you. Here you go. One more.
I don't give a fuck what you think, bitch. Your thoughts ain't my thought, bitch. I'm flowing straight from the survival scroll. Cut that bitch off.
That's what I was just talking about. That's what made me want it. All right, we'll put you back in the queue, big dog. Press what we got. You got another call in. Area code 770. What's your name? Where you calling from, sir?
What's up, Steve? This is G from the ATL.
What up, G? What's good with you, man?
Hey, got a quick question. I know you always talk about the water hole. Now, my thing is, I'm older. I'm 46 years old. I don't want to be the old man at the club. So
wait, stop right there. Do you want some young pussy or you don't? Let's start right there. Do you want some tight 21-year-old out of college bisexual thought pussy? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay then. So with your statement isn't lining up with your behavior. You see what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck if you're the old man in the club or not. You understand? See, and I'm sure Alan and Ron will tell you this. When I was in high school, dog, okay, and I talked about this. When I was in the 11th grade or the 12th grade, guess what the 12th grade girls were going after? They weren't going after us. They were fucking with the older guys. A lot of women will fuck with older men because of the experience they have. They tired of these young boys. Matter of fact, they'll do two things. Dog, let me tell you what they'll do. They'll either go up and fuck with the older guy, or they'll go down and fuck with some little kid. But they will not fuck with the regular guys because they have nothing to offer them. Alan, what you got on that?
Yeah, man, age ain't nothing but a number. Now, in your partial defense, though, I do say in one of my books, it depends on the city, state, and country you in, but some nightclubs ain't nothing but going to be full of attention whores, man. A lot of women go to nightclubs just to have men buying free drinks and compliment their outfit. So in that respect, I ain't too high on nightclubs myself. But as far as the age factor, fuck that, man. Fuck that, because I tell women all the time, and when they hear me talking about younger women, they say, Alan, you a dirty old man. I say, ain't no such thing. The reason why men get labeled a dirty old man is not because they start thinking about sex anymore when they get older than they did when they was younger. They thought about sex all along. But what diminishes is their tolerance for bullshit. And You know, like with me, man, I ain't got time to be talking and listening to a bitch talk about the Young and the Restless episode. I'm talking about her sucking my dick. You know, when I was 22, I said, oh, yeah, tell me about that episode. Oh, okay, so he did that. So Victor Newman, wait a minute, Victor Newman owns his own company, right? You know, and in my mind, I'd be like, I don't care about this shit. But I tolerated them conversations. But now that I'm 53, I'd be like, bitch, I don't give a fuck about no goddamn Young and the Restless. I want you young restless on this dick.
Well, yeah, and then you know they said it like, Jason, you crazy old man. You crazy.
There's no honor among these women. There's no honor.
Steve, I keep getting told I'm selfish. I want things my way.
Hey, dog. Whoa, dog. See, this is what y'all guys got to understand the language of these women. Listen, when she say you selfish, you are a misogynistic pig, you don't listen, you an asshole, you a jerk, you want things your own way, her panties are sliding. She got to cross her legs so you don't see the panties come slide down by themselves. Those are the things that turn women on. It's not you being nice. It's not you being sweet, kind, and you listen, and I can feel safe around you, and you can cuddle, and it just feels wonderful being with a guy who just doesn't want me for my body. They don't want motherfucker. Look. Again, G, they will want you for what you can do for them, not for what they can do for you, dog.
What's your first name again? I can't hear it.
No, G. You call him G. It's G. It's G.
G. Did you listen from the beginning of the show, G?
Yeah, I've been listening from the beginning.
So you heard me talking about the social...
No, I tuned in about 10 minutes, about 10, 15 minutes in. Sorry about that.
So you heard me talking about the beta males and the social programming they adhere to?
Yeah.
See, I'm going to tell you a little secret. Here's the thing. So, G, just for example purposes, I'm going to put you in the role of the beta male, right?
Uh-huh.
And let's say a woman meets Rhyme, and Rhyme always talking about fucking her and having her suck his dick. And she like, Rhyme, you nasty. You know, all you do is talk about fucking me and have me suck your dick. You never talk about taking me to the movies and taking me out to dinner. And Rhyme gives her look like, so? What the fuck? I don't give a fuck, bitch. I said, what you do is suck my dick and I'm gonna fuck you. I ain't taking you to no goddamn movies. Now, if she didn't really know Rhymes, what his core was, she's first testing him to see if he gonna back down. And when she see that, Rhymes like, bitch, I don't give a fuck if you pissed off at me. My dick gonna end up in your mouth. Believe that shit. Then all of a sudden she'll soften up. She'll be like, you're so nasty. You nasty. Now she comes to you, and somebody told you, yeah, man, this dude named Ryan was talking dirty to her, so I want you to talk dirty to her too, G. So you try to talk dirty. You say, yeah, I want to fuck you, Linda. She says, what? You asshole, don't you ever talk to me that way again. Now here's where you going to fuck up as a beta male. You're going to be like, dang. My fault. I'm sorry. Like this funny man, he read this book called More Women through their ALAN ROGER CURRIE, and he said to like do this shit. That's so sad. I mean, cause really I'm a gentleman at heart. Like I like to bring women flowers, and I like to get to know them and take them out to dinner. You know, treat them like a queen. Now in her mind, she like, yeah, I got me a bitch ass motherfucker. I'm gonna use him for all his money.
I'll give you another one, Alan. I'll give you another real quick. Excuse me. I'll give you another one, sir. See, what y'all guys understand is the women that we with, sometimes they want our attention, and we don't give them our attention. So what they do is they leave Mount Olympus to find you motherfuckers to hang out with. And then they realize there's nothing special about you. And like Alan said, they'll go out to dinner with you, but as soon as you open up your mouth, they thinking, damn, they already called the girlfriend up, hey, girl, if I give you a signal, call me so I can leave this motherfucker. And what they do is they get the food, they go in the bathroom, they call us up, what we doing? Ryan probably playing his video games, Alan probably on the phone with some bitch talking dirty to her or whatever, and they like, well, what you doing? Can I come see you? And they going to give him the pussy, and feed him at the same time. And Rhyme gonna eat her ass out while she cooking this steak up that you bought for her and shit. She can feed. Go ahead, Al.
Yeah, man. So they test all these guys. Because if a woman knows from the get-go, like say she knows somehow before she even meets you, if you're alpha or beta, then there's no need to test you because she know how to respond to you already. But if she meeting a guy she's not sure, one of the top 2 or 3 ways a woman tests a man is by criticizing him and insulting him and see what his reaction. And again, if you back down from any criticism or insult, she know you beta. Because she know you scared of being criticized by her, you scared of being insulted by her, and you going to modify and make adjustments to your behavior in order to accommodate her and please her. Whereas the alpha male's going to be like, bitch, like I always use this food analogy with my clients. Gee, what's your favorite food? Steak. Okay. Let's say you meet this woman named Diane. Fine as hell. Sexy as hell. And she says, gee, I really do like you. I like the last couple conversations we had. But I got to let you know, before you get in these panties, you're going to have to stop eating steak because I'm a vegetarian. And I only have sex with men who are vegetarians. You going to stop eating steak? Or you going to keep eating steak and say, fuck you?
I'm going to stop eating. I mean, I'm not going to stop eating steak, no.
No. Ain't no alpha male going to stop eating steak. And what message is that going to send to the woman when you say, hell no, I ain't going to fucking stop eating steak? Bitch, you crazy? What's that? What would that reaction say to her?
It's going to tell her that you're a man of your word.
Well, that is going to tell her that you got backbone, but the also subliminal message is going to send to her is that, damn. Because she's thinking initially that she's the finest piece of pussy you've ever come across. But if you had that reaction, she's going to be like, well, damn, he must got some other fine pieces of pussy. If he turning down this pussy to keep eating his steak. Yep. But if he says, yeah, okay, I stop eating steak tomorrow. It's really good. I just eat fruits and vegetables and lettuce. But she knew you ain't getting all the pussy. Because you going to give up your fucking favorite food just so you can fuck her. Immediate loss of respect.
Answer this right here for me, because I met a female about a week ago. We only talked to her that one time because I was like, I can't talk to you no more. And when we were talking, she said, well, I just want to let you know I'm celibate, and I'm not going to have sex until I get married. And I said, well, how long you been celibate? This bitch said 12 years. She's like, I just wanted to be up front with you. And I was like, all right, you know what? I appreciate you being up front with me, but I'm not going to waste my time. Unless we getting married next week.
No, ain't no married next week bullshit. I ain't gonna waste my time with you.
Divorce the week after that.
Yeah, I ain't gonna waste my time with you. The bottom line is this: I'll be honest. You can see this is where the honesty comes in. At you gotta let her know what your intentions are. Hey, look, we ain't in high school anymore. We ain't in Miss Crabtree's 4th or 5th grade class. I gotta pass you fucking. Do you like me? I like you. Check the box. Yes, no type bullshit. Fuck that. Look, we up in this motherfucking Serengeti. I want that ass. And look. And you can say no. And guys, no means go and find the other one who will. Because you don't need to waste your time with all this pussy. Guys, they are giving pussy out so, dude. It's. I would be dead if I was single right now. Y'all would see me in my grave before they cremate me and send me to fucking Jupiter and shit. My hips would still be pumping because I would be fucking. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Yeah.
I'm sorry, Steve, I mean to interrupt you. But check this out though. She said she's been celibate for 12 years.
12 years.
Now, is she a good-looking woman?
Yeah, she is good-looking.
About how old is she?
How old is she? 48, 49.
Oh, she up there. Okay, she's a vet.
Damn.
Okay.
Wait, how old is she, G?
She's about 48, 49.
Okay, G, let me break it down in real-world terms for you. Number one, what did you notice she didn't say when she told you she was celibate for 12 years? What did she not say? She did not say, I'm a virgin. She said, I'm in celibate for 12 years. The real world, real talk translation for that is from the time I was 15 to the time I was about 36, I was getting dick every motherfucking day. I was sucking dick, getting fucked in my ass. And then I went to a church service and they said, you know what? You can make yourself a born-again virgin. And she bought into that. And now let me ask you, G, that is going to be a rhetorical question because you already know the answer. But if I'm a car dealer, and let's say there's this Lexus, brand new Lexus, and I let 10 motherfuckers drive this Lexus and accumulate, I don't know, 20,000 miles on that motherfucker. Is that a new car or is that a used car now?
It's a used car.
That's a used car, right, G? Now, if I let that used car sit for 12 years, does that make it a new car again? If I say, hey, this car's been celibate, it's not been on the road for the last 12 years, does that make it a new car again? No. That motherfucker is still a used car with 20,000 miles on it. These women are delusional, man. You can't turn backdoor domino on your pussy by thinking you're going to go 12 years without dick like that's supposed to make a man say, well, damn, I got to give it to you. You have avoided dick for 12 years. See, you deserve some bonus points for that.
Yeah, hey, G, you need to leave them old bitches alone, dog. You should not listen, man. Y'all, look, man. You got, look, dog. I don't care how old you are. You got 30, 35, 40, even some 25-year-old chicks that will fuck you, man. Don't be messing with these battle axe type, He-Man type chicks. No, we leave them motherfuckers alone. Let them hold their cats and shit like that. Matter of fact, those 49-year-old chicks surely got 20-something-year-old daughters that you should be fucking. You fucking with the wrong one. You need to go, hey, Miss Mabel, here's your pie, and your denture cream. Now, where's your daughter at? I'll be right back. Man, leave them old bitches alone, dog. Hit that young snapper because you know what? They looking for older guys. They love older guys because they, again, G, they tired of these wishy-washy, cookie-cutter beta males who don't even, they don't even like licking the pussy, G. They like eating pussy. I'm asexual. I can't do, oh, wait, there's a new Pokemon. I'll be right back. I mean, get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. Come on, man. Shit. Damn. All right, well, look, guys, the number. All right, G, we'll put you back in the queue. Y'all got a question, call in. The number is 515-605-9373. That is 515-605-9373. Press 1, and we will definitely get you in the queue. Now, again, guys, we were talking last week about the friend zone, and we were discussing, some of the things, and I just want to make a quick run of it, that the thing we discussed last week was you're going to have to accept the fact that you know what, you got to accept the reality of your situation. You have to accept that it's your actions that have put you here. You have to accept that you won't ever escape the friend zone until you change your thinking. You got to accept for one reason or another she doesn't want the type of guy like you. Those are the things that you got to accept, and these are some of the things that we were discussing as far as the friend zone, and I want to continue to talk about some other things to get Rhyme and Alan Roger Currie from O1.net, get their opinions on all this stuff, because last week we ended off talking about being more mysterious, so I'd like to continue real quick to discuss one thing, and I want to talk to you guys about one thing that these beta males don't do, or the cookie cutter, is that they never allow a woman to miss them. They are so apt to be on her dick 25 hours a day, 8 days a week, and even on fucking Sunday. She can't even breathe. Every time they turn around, they bugging the shit out of her, and women want somebody who is wanted by other people but won't run behind her. Alan, what's your take on that real quick? Then we go to Ryan.
Oh, yeah. Again, man, the way I see it, and this is what I say in my latest book, a woman really only wants a motherfucker for 3 general reasons. Now, if you want to get more specific, you can branch it out to even more reasons. But I always narrow it down to 3 main reasons. And that's for sexual enjoyment and satisfaction, non-sexual attention and companionship, and financial assistance and support. And again, some women, now there is a small percentage of women that do look for what I call the total package. You know, they want multiple things in one man. But then most women, though, they compartmentalize. And if you're that motherfucker that comes out, basically present yourself as the guy who's going to be the entertaining friend and shit, who goes to the bowling alley on a Friday night when all the motherfuckers who usually fucking her are too busy to hook up with her because they fucking other chicks, then you're going to be in the friend zone. And see, here's what cracks me up with men. A lot of men will complain about the women like it's the woman's fault they're in the friend zone. No, get that out your head. If you've been in a woman's friend zone for X number of weeks, X number of months, X number of years, that's your fault. That's your motherfucking fault. Because you ain't told that woman that you want to fuck the shit out of her, or if you don't want to just casually fuck her, you ain't told her that you wanted her to be your next girlfriend. You up here talking about the Young and the Restless and shit, and what happened on Joanne's blog and shit, and, you know, you fucking up. But, yeah, like Steve said, no woman wants the motherfucker. Because, see, when you ain't no challenge to a woman's ego, then ain't nothing about you going to get that woman's pussy wet. If every time she say jump, you say how high, what would make you think you're going to be able to get that woman's pussy wet?
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
There you go.
Ryan, what do you got on that, sir?
Exactly. It's like you are still you. You're never going to stop being you, but what a beta does is conform to whatever she wants, just like the Colin Kaepernick thing, which I believe he has the right to do what he has to do, but Steve did expose the reason behind it, because she told him, well, baby, I'm fucking nobody, and no one's going to listen to what the fuck I have to say, but you're Colin Kaepernick. You played in the Super Bowl. If you take my cause on, baby, I might let you sniff the pussy next winter. That's what they do. And you become save the whales, save the plankton, save the trees, save the air. And you're out there doing everything she wants you to do instead of fucking sitting back, kicking it with the fellas, playing video games, and telling her you got shit to do on your own, away from her. And when you got your head up her ass all the time, she gonna run to one of us to get the shit fucked out of her. Because a lot of betas don't want to fuck her all the time. They just want to be beside her. They just want to sit back on the couch and Netflix and chill, you know, minus the fucking. And she wants to get fucked. She wants to get treated like a whore. Now, just like Baltimore said, the double standard. These women want to be coveted and put on a pedestal, and they want to be treated like a whore. Now, they can't be real with the guy that covets them. They can only be real with the guys that treat her like a whore. So the guys that are fucking the shit out of her, pulling her hair, calling her a dirty whore, and tag teaming her ass, she'll always tell them the truth. She'll never tell the guys that covered her the truth. That's just how it is.
Hey, Steve, can I add on one more comment?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, man. Since I ended my show, of course, I'm going to have a lot of memories and reflections. But what Ryan just said reminds me of one interview I had. There was these 3 women wrote this book. It's on Amazon right now called The Little Black Book of Big Red Flags. And I interviewed 2 of the 3 authors. Now, one of the authors was real cool. You know, I was talking shit to her, and, you know, I'm pretty sure I had her pussy wet. But the other one called herself being this pretentious chick, and we ended up getting into it. And anyway, at one point, I was actually giving her props on the book. I said, you know, a lot of stuff in your book I agree with, your little red flags. But I said one red flag I disagree with is when you say if a man talks dirty to you in the first conversation, that's a red flag. She said, "Oh, it is. That's disgusting, and it's inappropriate, and it's just socially just not something a man should do." Right there, she was trying to reinforce beta male beliefs in men's heads. But I already went over that. So she kept saying, I said, "Who are you to say that that's inappropriate? Who the fuck are you to say that?" "Well, I mean, I think I speak for 99% of women." I said, "That's bullshit." I said, "You can't speak for 99% of women. You don't know 99% of women on earth. So just shut the fuck up with that shit." And we got testy, but she gave in. She said, "Okay, you're right. I shouldn't have said that statistic." But here's the key thing, though. It was funny, especially given her personality, what Rhyme said. Because I say this in my new book, too, in the Beta Male Revolution. Some listeners have caught when I said this. All you beta males who believe, who have been taught by your mothers, stepmothers, whatever, that you got to always treat women with the utmost of respect and treat them like a princess and, never say anything that could be perceived as disrespectful. Yeah, that has some truth to it, but for the most part, that's bullshit. And here's where it's bullshit. All women got a nasty, dirty slut side. All women got a nasty, dirty slut side. Now, they ain't going to reveal that side to every motherfucker. They going to make sure that you got big balls and strong backbone before they reveal that side. But every woman got that side. And that's a key statement that Rhyme said that's more profound than some of you listeners know what it is when he said every woman wants to be treated like a whore. That is the motherfucking truth. Now, I will say this, though. Not every woman may not want to be treated like a whore by you.
Exactly.
Whoever you may be listening, if you beta, no, she don't want you, the beta male, treating her like, because you ain't got the balls to treat her like a whore. You ain't got the backbone to treat her like a whore. But if she sees that you're a real motherfucking man with some balls and backbone, she wants you to pull that hair and slap it. Anyway, going back to this chick for a second, that's what I made her admit. And to me, it was a victory because this woman was so prudish and pretentious. It wasn't funny. But she tried to say, she said, no, because when you're talking dirty to women, that's suggesting that women will want to be treated like a slut, and they don't. I said, that's bullshit. I said, all women got a slut side. And I said, I know you do. Don't you?
Yeah.
And then she started fumbling over the words. She was like, I said, don't you? And she said, yeah, I do. I like to be treated like a slut in the bedroom. She said it like real quick. She said, yeah, I like to be treated like a slut in the bedroom. But anyway, Alan, as I was saying, see, she wasn't going to lie on my show. She knew she liked to be treated like a slut. But I could tell by talking to her. And it's funny, guys like myself, Steve, Rob, Rosebud, we can talk to certain women and tell if they've been dealing with primarily beta males. And bitches like her, I could tell that 95% of the guys she's been dealing with in her life have been beta males who she's had a way with.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Alan, you're absolutely right. And I want to discuss that. Guys, if y'all want to call in, we're here with Alan Roger Currie from Mode1.net, here with Ryan and myself. The number to call in is 515-605-9373. That's 515-605-9373. Press 1 and we'll bring you in. Looks like G has another question, but let me play Uncle Rick for you real quick before I bring G in.
Why don't you give it to him one more time? Woo! That's who's standing here today. The world heavyweight champion. Only one. And you're looking. Oh, girls, I can't stand it. Now I got to talk. We all got to be quiet. Woo! Talking Ric Flair. They all want to know. They all want to know. Woo! What's causing all this? You know what it is? Intensified. You're talking about all man. Ric Flair.
All right. G, did you have a question, sir?
No, I didn't hear anything.
Okay. Oh, my bad. Okay, I saw you in there. Okay. Let me go and let me go ahead and ping off of what Alan was saying. Oh, here we got another call in. Area code 915. What's your name, sir? Where you calling from?
Hey, this is BJ. I'm in Texas. I got a question. I was listening to your old show. That's cool. Like, can you expound on it a little bit?
Oh, well, that's cool. Okay, all right. Check this out. See, when a woman, like Alan say, a woman's gonna test you all the time. Like, let me give for instance. Like, see, a lot of guys will, ask a woman, let's go out on a Saturday, right? And then all of a sudden she'll call you and tell you, well, I can't do it. You're like, well, why can't we do it? You promised. You said we would, and oh, please, and all this other shit, right? See, when you have a that's cool type attitude, see, think about this 951. A man that's getting a lot of pussy, and he asks a chick, does he want to do something, and she says no, and he know he got other pussy in the bullpen, he going to be like, that's cool. Because look, because I'm the star in town. I'm the sun. Everything revolves around me, and I'm the opportunity. I'm giving you something. Now, check this out, 951. This is how cocky and arrogant we motherfuckers are. I'm giving you something that you'll be able to talk to your grandkids about one day, and that's my motherfucking time. And if you choose not to get on this dirk and this time, then that's cool. You know why? Because as soon as you say no or the in no, I'm picking up the telephone. I'm calling the next bitch up that's waiting in the bullpen, hoping the first bitch to say no so she can get on me. So, and I'm throwing it to Alan and Rhyme, but when you tell a woman that's cool, that shows her, look, and you got to be real about that shit. You just can't be like, well, that's cool. You can't be like that. You just got to be smooth with it like you mean it. You don't run me. I run the show. I gave you the Willy Wonka golden ticket, bitch. It ain't about you. So if you got shit to do, I have no problem with that. I'll go fuck somebody else, and when you ready to give me some of that pussy, we good. Alan, what you got on that, man?
Oh, man, I tell my followers and clients, it ain't nothing more important, or too many things more important, than sending a message to a woman that you got options. Matter of fact, what's funny in my book, my book, if any of y'all were to read it, it's all about being just straightforwardly honest with women about your thoughts, your desires, your interests, your intentions. But if there's one little white lie I actually condone for men, I wouldn't go as far as say I encourage it, but I at least give men a pass. I tell men this: if you're a motherfucker and you ain't had no pussy in, say, 2 years, 6 months, 12 months, or whatever,
Jesus.
You don't want to tell a woman. You don't want to come out. I'm all about straightforward honesty, but you don't want to say, hey, one day, I really would like to go to the state with you because I haven't been with a woman in like 15 months. Because once you tell a woman that, once you give a woman the impression that one of these two things, I always tell you, you give a woman the impression that she's your number one choice for sexual companionship, and even worse, your only option for sexual companionship. I mean, if it weren't laws that keep things like grocery stores from not being able to just randomly raise their prices, what do you think would happen if you went in a grocery store and said, damn, ain't no other stores got this XYZ brand of bread? If it was a scandalous grocery store and they didn't have laws, it'd be like, motherfucker, this loaf of bread costs $98. Like, what? Like, yeah, this is $98. Because they know you ain't got no other motherfucking options. And that's what bitches do. That's what women do. If you send them any message that, damn, baby, you're the only chance I got for pussy, woman gonna be like, jump off that 20-story building head first if you show me how much you want this pussy.
Absolutely true.
But give me the password to your bank account to show me how bad you want this pussy. You ain't got no other options. But say again, like Steve laid out, if you're a motherfucker who handles your business, one would say, well, Steve, I know we're supposed to hook up tonight, but click. She'd be like, did he just hang up on me? If you ain't trying to hear the rest of that sentence, basically, he already going on to the next piece of pussy. He ain't trying to hear her weak excuse like, well, some came up at the last minute. But beta males, ain't no beta males tolerate this shit like, oh, okay. So wait a minute, your aunt from Antarctica is in town this weekend. Oh, okay. And your sister, who's from Japan, is in town too. Oh, okay. All right, I guess I'll catch you on the next go around, but yeah, I mean they just buy anything and shit.
Yeah. Ron,
you gotta send out the message. You got options.
But that's the only way. You got to let them know from the beginning you are not the only one. And like Steve said, you got to prove yourself to me because who the fuck are you?
There you go.
And that's the thing. It's like when you are out and you go and you doing your thing. Let's say you don't even have any other women, but you're still doing your thing. Oh, can I come over? Yeah, you can come over later. I got something to do. You ain't got shit to do. But just the fact that you're holding her up because you got something to do, her pussy just got wet. He's busy. He ain't up my ass. She could go fuck somebody else if she wanted to, but most likely she's not because she's going to wait for you. Because you have important shit to do. You're a fucking man. She is not the center of your fucking universe, even though she wants to be. She wants to be eventually, but when you tell her that you got shit, I can do it later. I'm finna go, hang out with Alan and Steve for a little bit. I might, depending on how the air is blowing, I might call you. And that motherfucker sitting rocking back and forth by the damn phone, waiting on you to motherfucking call.
Now we got another call real quick, 915, but I want to say this real quick to you. Let me give you another example that's cool. All right, 915. You know what this sound means? You know what that sound means, though?
This car pulling over?
Almost,
like
young man.
That's
the sound of when you driving and a woman asks you, are you seeing anybody? When y'all going out on your date. And you be like, yeah, I'm seeing somebody, and she cop an attitude with you before y'all get to that light. That's when you hear that noise, because as soon as you turn that motherfucking car around and you dropping her off and you picking up the telephone to call somebody else, and this is a quick way to get some pussy, because at that point you about to drop. Well, why are you doing that? Why are you? They want to strike up a conversation with you, knowing you about to drop their ass off because you like that. See, 915. When you get this attitude that it is all about you, you are a king, you are a man, you are a warrior. It is your birthright to go through these women like a hot knife through butter, and it is also your choice whether you give them your time. Once you start to feel that, your behaviors roll with that, and congruency as one line, you won't be able to be fucked with. Because everything you do would be when you want to do it on your time. And if she doesn't want to do it on your time, it's cool. I don't need to run behind you. I won't ask twice. I don't beg. And if you don't want to talk to me, it's cool. I can tell you all the stories about Ron. I'd be like, Ron, you talk to that chick? Nah, man, I ain't talking to her. Why not? Shit, she ain't calling me, so fuck it. I'm just chilling the fuck out. We don't give a fuck, 915, okay? So what I'm going to do, 915, I'll put you back in the queue, but if you have a question, press 1, big dog, okay?
All right. Thank you, guys.
All right, no problem, big dog. Area code 850, you're on with Alan Roger Currie, Mode1.net, Rhyme and myself. What's your name? Where you calling from, sir?
Yo, what's up, Coach? What's up, Al? It's Kent.
Kent.
What up?
What's up, Kent?
Hey, man, you know what? I'm glad I caught the show, man, because I'm sitting here thinking, I'm like, what the fuck, man? I thought the new season was coming out. Now I'm like, oh, shit, he probably canceled it.
Yeah, man. I called it quits after 9 seasons, man. And I give you props, man. You were one of my regular callers. And now here, you know what my best memory of you, Kent? I think you know what I would say. Of all the questions you asked me, of all the comments you made, I've even borrowed your analogy and used it in other interviews and other conversations. But Steve and Ryan, here's the funniest thing that Kent said. We was talking about stuff related to your topic, the friend zone, shit to do with being in a woman's friend zone, and what I call fun clubbing. For your listeners that don't know what that term is, if a guy's fun clubbing, that means he's pretending like he's content with being a woman's platonic friend, but he know deep down he wants to date her or he want to casually fuck her. But he don't have the balls to come straight out, so that means he's fun clubbing. So we're talking about fun clubbing. And I made the point that I said, and this relates to what I was talking about earlier in the show about my book, The Beta Male Revolution, and going back in time. I was saying that it was easy for guys to be platonic friends with women when they wasn't fucking until they got married, because those guys knew they wasn't fucking nobody else. But I said, once women start fucking everybody, who wants to be platonic friends with a woman that's out fucking other motherfuckers? And Kid said, man, that's like standing in line and you paying $6 or $7 for a Subway sandwich and other motherfuckers coming up in the line with a free coupon. Hey, man, why you going with a pay for the sandwich and you see all these motherfuckers coming like, yeah, baby, yeah, I got this coupon you gave me, remember? Oh, yeah, that's right, you got that coupon. Here you go. When you get up to the cashier, she like $7.38.
My God, damn it.
And what's funny, man, is I think Coach probably remember this. That analogy came because I was in that exact situation, man. I'm telling you, I was in that exact situation, and and it got to the point where I was like, wait a second, something ain't right here. I'm doing everything that I'm supposed to do in the manual, but I keep getting skipped in the line. It's like you go to, Coach has been to university, he's been to, theme parks. They got this thing called Fast Pass. So,
I get Fast Pass everywhere I fucking go. Fuck waiting in line. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so it's like, so I'm waiting in the regular line. And then I see
wait, hold on, kid. For those who don't know, don't call me bougie, I'm just lazy as fuck. The Fast Pass is this, guys. If you pay a little bit extra, when you go to a ride, you don't have to go to the left and stay in the cattle line that take you 2 hours to ride, a quick ride. You go through the exit. You go cut through the exit side, cut around, you get on the ride, and then you get to ride the bitch twice. And then you come back and do it again. That's Fast Pass. Please, kid, continue. I'm sorry.
Yeah, to add on to that, they actually got Fast Pass Unlimited now for some rides. So.
Oh yeah, they got Fast Pass Plus. Oh yeah.
Yeah, so you could. So what I was doing, and I think Coach got him. He had gotten my ass about this before. I kept staying in the regular line because I was like, well, I'm gonna get to the ride eventually. You know what I'm saying? But but this is what happened though. Y'all check this out. This is what happened. I'm waiting in line, and you know how, you can see like there's always an exit to the ride, and so you seeing other people getting off the ride, talking about how good it was, how much fun they had, and they're like, man, shit, I'm about to go back, but you haven't moved yet. You still in the same spot. You haven't moved. And you got the same people coming out. They've rode the ride 3 or 4 times. You haven't even moved yet. I mean,
Well, you know what, Ken, real quick, Eddie, I want to say to the guys real quick, because we're here with Alan. We got 8 minutes to go. We are going to go to overtime, because Alan is talking about fun clubbing, and I want to connect that in overtime to give you some things that you guys do to connect all this stuff. Alan, you were able to go overtime with us, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, God, this your last time, man. You mean be more one, motherfucker. hey, Alan, don't make me.
I don't want to be different.
Oh, Lord.
I'm not trying to be different. It's just the way I am. They call me sissy. But I'm not a sissy. I'm not. Why do they call me sissy?
Because you're a sissy, bitch. Now, look. So check it out, kid. So what we're going to do, we're going to talk to you also. But, guys, call in. The number is 515-605-9373. Guys, we're going to put this on YouTube as well, and we'll be able to let you guys hear this and share all this shit. But we want to talk about some deep shit in overtime as well, so please don't sleep on this. We're here with Alan Roger Currie from Mo1.net, who is retiring after 9 years. We have my boy Rhyme and all this other stuff. But real quick, because I wanted to stop real quick and ask Alan one more question because we are going to overtime. We're going to chop it up. But before we go into overtime, Alan, what I wanted to ask you, just real quick, if that please, because I know you always on the move and stuff. Like you were saying before, you were talking about you're going to be in Los Angeles in mid-October and everything, and you're going to be working with some of your clients out there again and stuff. So can you discuss what you're going to be doing real quick before we get into overtime?
Well, two things. One, I wanted to quickly clarify in case somebody might misinterpret what Steve said. He said, I retire. I'm not retiring as a dating coach. I'm going to be doing that to the radio
show host, excuse me.
But yeah, as far as my show on Blog Talk Radio, it's called Upfront and Straightforward. I started that in June of 2007. Yes, I've retired from doing that. I'm not going to be doing any more shows. But I will continue to do dating coaching. And also I want to change something, even though that site he mentioned is still active, mo1.net. I actually have a new site for my male followers.
Damn, you didn't even tell me that shit. See? No
I told you a long time ago. You forgot. You getting old, see? It's called directapproachdating.com. Again, that's directapproachdating as one word. Directapproachdating as one word. .com. And you'll see a link for coaching, and I offer 3 types of coaching. Email consultations you'll see on there is one form of coaching I do. Another is Skype and or telephone coaching. I do that quite a bit. And then the highest form of coaching I do is one-on-one face-to-face coaching. And I'm actually going out to Los Angeles, I want to say the second week in October, to work with a couple of clients in a one-on-one face-to-face manner. And I cover a lot of things depending on which session you buy, but a lot of things I talked about. My main thing is just, honestly, a lot of my clients are either self-proclaimed beta males or guys reluctant to call themselves beta males, but they know deep down they are. And in a nutshell, I just help guys become more alpha and change a lot of their, what I call their faulty social programming. And again, for some guys, it might be a 2 or 3 week process. For other guys, it's a long process because some guys, if you absorb, and I don't blame them. I mean, if you absorb, say, 25 years worth of bullshit beta male social programming, I can't change a guy like that in 48 hours, because it's almost like in his fiber now. It's in his DNA to be a fucking, thin-skinned beta male. Because I have guys go back and forth with me sometimes for weeks. And we say, wait a minute, Alan. You're telling me that I can talk about sex with women in the very first conversation without getting slapped? I'm like, dude, man. Just talking about sex. I've had women sucking my dick in the first conversation. What are you talking about? No way, man. It's unbelievable, man. No way. And so anyway, yeah, I work with guys like that, man. And matter of fact, I'm going to give one example before we go in overtime. I had a guy I'm working with through Skype consultation. And he was unbelievable. One of my big things is to diminish your small talk. I hate small talk. Guys, small talk would be like if you go up to one and say, hey, how you like this weather? And, golly, have you been to this restaurant 11 times already? Did you see that Cubs game the other day? See, that's small talk. So I told this guy, I said, man, skip that shit and just say, so, when would you like to share my company one-on-one? Let's hook up in the near future. He said, no, Alan, that's kind of too forward. I wouldn't feel good. I said, no, just say it. To use Steve's line, Steve got this line, who told you to think? And he kept saying, I think this, I think that. Who told you to think? Man, sure enough, my next consultation session where he said, I'll be goddamn, Alan, you're a genius, man. Man, when I skipped the small talk, man, this really fine chick, man, I just said, so, when you going to share my company? And she was like, when do you want me to share your company? And he was like, Thursday. She was like, okay, great. And he couldn't believe that shit. That, blew his mind. That he was able to just get to the point that quick.
But, Alan, you also probably, when we talked to him, you probably said these 2 things.
Haven't you figured it out? Nice guys finish last. Only aggressive people conquer the world.
And then you said this to the motherfucker. Hold on, where is it at? Is this it?
You'll never get what you want. You'll always let people step all over you. You're just like stairs.
Hey, man, do you get that dude? I heard you have a soundbite. The dude who's crying over his...
Oh, yeah. Let me... Hey, just stop that. We ain't laughing at you. Stop that. We gonna be find that right quick. But guys, y'all call in. Please call in 515-605-9373. This is not gonna be the last time Alan Roger Currie is gonna be on, but this is the last time we able to talk to him about his show that he's shutting down. But we chopping up with another hour, guys. So we want y'all in because we got a lot of shit to cover. And let me find it right now. Let's see. Let's start with this one, shall we?
This has wrecked me so much because I know I shouldn't cry. I know I shouldn't cry because I'm supposed to just, it's supposed to be just shit happens, you move on. But when this is the first time you've ever really loved somebody, it's so hard. You can't just move on when you love someone this much and give up on her. But I don't know what to do. I really don't. There's nothing I can do. I'm powerless here. I'm still trying so hard to fight. I'm trying so hard, but there's nothing I can do, and I just need to be with her. I have to.
www.themanmindset.com. We're here with Alan. Was that direct? Is it direct dating?
DirectApproachDating.com.
DirectApproachDating.com. I apologize. I didn't mean to say it. No offense if I'm saying it wrong. And we're also here with Rhyme the Steve, themanmindset.com. And Alan was talking about something called fun clubbing again, and this really connects to the friend zone. And I want to talk about these, what I call 15 points that a lot of you guys will do. Your behavior. It's either you behave this way, you think this way. Well, you do both. Fuck it. I'm being too fucking nice to you guys. Anyway, the first thing that you do, you always ask, and Rhyme and Alan, either one of you, after I say it, you can kind of elaborate on it. You guys always ask if it's okay to do something. You don't because it's like, okay, man, it just kills me. How these guys, is it okay if we do this? Is it okay if we do that? Rhyme, what do you have on that? Then we'll get Alan. Rhyme, what's your take on asking if it's okay to do something?
Well, I call that Mr. Make Sure. I want to make sure she's okay with this. You know what? If she's not okay with it, she'll tell you. But you don't ask, well, excuse me, you think I could take your shoes off for you? You think you stupid. You think I could rub your leg for you a little bit? You think I could slide my hand up to your inner thigh, just right outside the lips, just right outside, just ever so closely. You know what I mean? It's just that turns women off in the most horrible way. That their pussy couldn't get any drier. Mm-hmm. And you gotta just go for it. Like I always say, whatever you did up until this point was wrong. Try doing the exact opposite. Try just telling, you know what, I want to goddamn stick my tongue in your pussy. Damn. Roger, I've never heard you talk like that before. It's like, and they go for it because I've been told by women, you're too aggressive. That's a turnoff. Well, all right then. Well, you go be with that guy that's not going to fuck you for 11 years. Like I told Steve, I met this nice little MILF, 47 years old, bad as a motherfucker, Jewish joint, and husband hadn't fucked her in 5 months. 5 months. She loves to eat pussy. She gets down with the swinger scene. And husband hadn't fucked her in 5 months. What the fuck? Because that's what she married. Of course she allowed that, but that's what she married. She married a guy that barely wants to do anything with her. which is ridiculous. But that's what they're gonna settle for with you guys, with the Mr. Make Sures. They're gonna settle with you, and you think you won because she's sitting beside you on the couch, but she got 3 loads of damn cum in her fucking stomach.
Well, all right. Well, Alan, okay, Alan, what do you have on that? Okay, Alan.
He said, okay.
Yeah, it's just like a guy interviewed, speaking of my show that's now ended, the guest I had on the most times, 7 actually, was a guy named David X, who Steve had on his show not too long ago. And me and David X were talking about alpha males versus beta males. And actually, David X doesn't really use those terms as much as I do. But his similar phrase, he said a number of times on my show, he said, either you're a leader or you're a follower. And he said either, a woman's going to follow your lead or you following a woman's lead. And that's true. I tell guys that all the time. Either a woman's adhering to your program or you adhering to her program.
Yes, sir.
And when you adhering to her program, that's when you're going to do all that. I had a woman on my show once saw, she said, I like it when a guy is nice and so sweet and he'll say, is it okay to kiss you? And I just started laughing. And she was like, why do you think that's funny? I said, I ain't never said no shit like that to no woman. She's like, really? Don't you think that's polite? I said, yeah, it's polite, but it ain't going to get your pussy wet. And she's like, oh my God, give me your dick. Well, of course, I had to play on the pussy after the conversation was over. You want me to kill me doing that. See, that's the other thing, man. A lot of you guys don't realize how many, I call them just actresses, how many actresses there are out here.
Oscar type actress.
Oscar caliber actresses. I told Steve this story about this chick. She actually didn't come on my show. There was this one chick was supposed to be a guest on my show. Okay. Now check this out, listeners. This chick was engaged. Now I didn't know this till later. So I was reading her book. If any of my guests had a book, I would read their book, in preparation for my interview with them, so I could formulate my questions. And I had a couple of things I wanted to ask her, so I called her up. And we talking. At first, she's being real formal with me and stuff. Yes, hello, Alan, how are you today? And blah, 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 blah. Anyway, getting to the point, next thing you know, I just started dominating her. Like, I would say stuff to her, and I say yes, sir. And she's like, you're dominant. I said, yeah. Say yes, sir. She's like, yes, sir. And next thing you know, I had her playing with her pussy, coming all over the place. So then that was the good news. The bad news, 2 days later, she contacts me and says, Alan, I can't be a guest on your show. I said, why not? She says, well, how do I want to put it? I said, just be honest. Just keep it real. She said, well, since you said keep it real, you're dangerous. She said this real lightheartedly, like, you're dangerous. I said, okay, what does that mean in real terms? She said, I mean, like, if I was to be a guest on your show, you would bring out the real me. Now, listen, just think about that statement for a second. Because you would think every human being should be their real motherfucking self all the damn time. She said you would bring out the real me, and here's the kicker. This one's going to blow you away, listeners. She said you would bring out the real me, and I don't want my fiance to see that. Let that marinate for a few seconds. This woman was being more real with me. I ain't never met this bitch in real life. Just made her play with her pussy and I dominated her on the phone. But yet she tells me, I don't want to come on your show because you will bring out a side of me that my own fiance has not seen.
Yes, sir.
Don't think she's a rare exception. And this is what I try to get guys to realize. There's a lot of women out here that are only showing their real side to the motherfuckers that know how to get their pussy wet and know how to fuck them right. But a lot of motherfuckers, they are mirroring, bold italic letters, mirroring. They put on a role, a performance.
Yes. All day. I got chicks on my roster that'll fuck 5 dudes. Fuck, suck, swallow 5 dudes. And I dish out assists to my boys every now and then when they fall on hard times. But,
that's right. I hear you.
But a lot of these chicks have boyfriends. Some of these chicks have husbands.
Yeah.
But they can never be that person to them because they feel that they can't tell them the truth, and most importantly, they feel that they don't deserve the truth.
Yeah.
Because you don't deserve this side of me. You might even like this side of me, but I'll never let you know that because you don't lay the wood to me. You don't tell me to shut the fuck up. You don't put me in my place, and most importantly, you don't lead me. So why the fuck would I give you this when you ain't shit?
Yeah, you know, connected to that, guys, that's important. And guys, press one if y'all have a question. He was in the queue and everything. But another important thing here, and it goes to one of my points, is that a lot of you guys don't call a woman out on her bullshit. A lot of you guys, you go on dates with women, and they will fucking tell you to your face the sky is brown and the grass is blue. And you motherfuckers will be like, well, I do see a little bit of brown and a little bit of blue. Maybe the tree is red. You're right, baby. You're right. You motherfuckers, man, look. She will test you. If you don't call her out on her bullshit, it doesn't mean you're going to lose her. It just means, you know what? You have set a standard. As a man, we all set standards. That is what we are. That's our foundation. We set a standard. And if we feel we see bullshit or she's acting in a way, you know what? It's like I say, like 911 is another cool thing. Because if you want to see other guys or you want to hang out, look, you don't have to lie to me about that shit. Like Alan said, you know, we encourage you to go out and go to them expensive restaurants, fuck valet parking. Hey, even have a maitre d' and a motherfucker playing violin next to your motherfucking table. I don't give a fuck. It doesn't matter to me. You don't need to lie to us. But when you start lying, we will call you out. And when we call you out, that means you are 1 foot out the door because you know what? Once you are gone, you're gone. And last thing I want to say before I toss to Alan, this is the key thing, guys. There is a million of those bitches out there, but they'll never find a motherfucker like us. We are far and few between, and that's what makes us so special. Alan, what you got on that?
Well, yeah, man. Number one, I would have echoed some things Rob said. First of all, yeah, sometimes guys, and I know some of you beta male types will say, hey, Ellen, I love you in rhyme, but aren't you guys being just rude jerks here talking about, hey, listen to me. Sometimes you got to say, I ain't saying every day, even necessarily every week, depending on the woman, but sometimes you just got to say, bitch, shut the fuck up. To let a woman know that you don't want to hear the goofy shit she's saying. Now, to guys like us, that sounds simple. You know, that's not even a biggie. But I heard guys say, hey, Ellen, I can't. No way. Like, since we talk about friend zone, I connect those two. I had a guy I work with in London, of all places. I've told this story on my own show a couple times, but there was this client I had where he was friends with this woman, and he would go out to lunch with her 2 to 3 times a month, but he came to me looking for advice on how to make it go from a friendship to something more romantic or sexual. So I said, well, you know, when I hear guys like that, I want to know how they got into the friend zone in the first place. So I said, like, what did you do? What kind of conversations you've been having that would lead you to get to the point where you... Well, no, first thing I said, since y'all just friends, when you go to lunch, who pays? He said, 90% of the time I do. I said, so you paying for platonic lunches? He said, yeah. I said, dude, stop doing this shit. He was like, I beg your pardon? I said, stop doing that shit. He was resistant to that. He was like, well, I'm just a gentlemanly kind of guy, mate. And, they say mate a lot over there in London. And I said, no, stop doing this shit. That's what got you in this situation in the first place. So I asked him, I said, okay, beyond that, what do you talk about when you go to lunch? I mean, what are y'all talking about? He says, oh, we talk about a lot of things. It's mainly her telling me about her disappointments and frustrations and problems with other men. I said, so wait a minute. You listening to her bitch about other men who she's been dating and fucking. And he sheepishly nodded his head like, yeah. I said, how does that make you feel, dude? He said, what make me feel? I said, knowing you were a bitch. And that kind of struck a chord. He got hurt by me saying that. But sometimes you got to get in these guys' tough love. Steve know that. He probably does more than I do. And I said, how does it make you feel to know that you're just a bitch, man? He was like, well, I don't look at myself that way. I said, no, dude, look at me. You treat her to lunch 2 to 3 times every month for her to tell you about sucking another motherfucker's dick and swallowing his cum. And here's the thing, when I said that, I thought he was going to say, well, no, she's never talked about that. He actually ended up saying, yeah, she's talked about that a couple times, how, guys just like forcefully fucked her mouth and how she had an adverse reaction to that.
Hey, give me some lotion. Hold on. Wait. Give me some lotion. Hey, now, did she fuck her mouth from the right or left side? Yeah. Go ahead, Alan.
So, I talked to him for a long time. But anyway, the long story short, man, I told him, I said, dude, stop treating her to lunch. Stop letting her talk about other motherfuckers. I said, the next time she talks about having sex with another motherfucker, you look her dead in the eyes and say, bitch, do I look like I want to listen to you talk about fucking another motherfucker? Now, this is to show you how beta male social programming get the best of him. He really challenged me on this. He was like, hey, mate, I respect you as a dating coach and everything, but number one, I am not calling her a bitch. And I'm not going to tell her what to talk about with me and what not to talk. I said, so you're just going to continue to be a bitch. And we went back and forth. He was very resistant. And I said earlier in the show, how quickly I get to a guy or how long it takes depends on how much they've absorbed these years of this beta male social programming. Yeah. And he didn't want to. He was like, no, that's just rude. He said, I've never called a woman a bitch in my life. I said, well, it's time for you to start.
Yeah.
So long story short, he ends up telling her. After battles with me, he finally says, okay, I'm going to take your advice and I'm going to listen. I'm going to do what you told me to do. So he went to lunch with her again. The first thing he did that I was proud of, he told her he wasn't going to pay for it. He said she had a real adverse reaction to that. But I told him, I said, so what? I told him that was going to happen. I said, just be like, so what? Then, sure enough, she started talking about, whining and complaining about some alpha male who had fucked her and dumped her. And I told him what to say. He looked at her face and said, bitch, do I look like I want to listen to you talk about some other cad? That's what they call the jerk types in London, cads. And he said she flew off the handle. She was like, oh, my God, I can't believe you're talking to me like that. Don't you ever talk to me like that again? Now, why would a woman yell at a guy like that? What type of guy would a woman feel comfortable yelling at like that? Is a guy who she looks at as her bitch. So she threatens him, and this guy's, listen to this, if you don't know this already, take notes here. Women like that are always going to try to threaten you with a denial of their attention and companionship. So she told him, if you're going to act like this, I'm not going to let you share my company for the next month. Now, do any of you listening think if somebody told Steve, Rhyme, or myself that we going to give a fuck? We're going to say, bitch, make it 3 months. Shit. The fuck? Anybody going to threaten me with them taking their attention and companionship with me? And anyway, I warned him that she was going to do something like that. So he was ready for it. And he let her ignore him. Sure enough, a week later, she calls him. And she actually challenged him to apologize to her, which I predicted that. And he held his ground, thank goodness, and said, no, I'm not apologizing. So she said, okay, then I'm not going to speak to you for the next month. But then she called a week later, a second time. And this time she finally gave in. I guess I was being somewhat of a bitch, and I guess you were right. They couldn't believe it. I didn't earn his respect fully until she called that second time and started apologizing for being a bitch. He said, my goodness, Alan, you're a genius. I guess you do sometimes have to call a woman a bitch. So all that story to tell you that I ain't telling any of you listeners just to go out, just go to the grocery store tomorrow morning and be in the aisle and say, hey, bitch, where's the ketchup at? No. You don't want to just randomly be calling them woman a bitch just to be doing it. But I'm saying if a woman is exhibiting behavior that's where she's attempting to emasculate you and treat you like some kind of chump, like you her beta bitch boy, then you got to put your foot down and show her that you got some backbone and be like, bitch, shut the fuck up.
All right, we got a call.
It's from an old Western when the guy says, he says, bitch, you're going to suck my dick. And,
you're talking about, hold on, not the old Western. Hold on a second. Hold on. I'm going to cue that up real quick, but we got a call. Guys, press 1 if y'all want to come in. We'll answer your questions. Area code 919, what's your name and what's your question, sir? Let me look for that, Alan, for you.
My name is Chris.
What up, Chris?
And my question is, I wanna hear y'all wisdom, knowledge, and understanding on a female who is trying to play hard to get, but you know if you keep talking to her, you can get what you want from her.
All right, hold on, Chris. Let me play this, Alan, for you. Here, this is what you're talking about.
On his radio! Now, I see what the fuck's in front of me, and I don't pretend it's something else. I was fucking her, and now I'm going to fuck you if you don't piss me off or open your yap at the wrong fucking time. The only time you're supposed to open your yap is so I could put my fucking prick in it. Otherwise, you shut the fuck up. Now, hold on to that. Huh? You don't linger on about it. You don't fucking go around weeping about it. And you don't behave like a kid with a sore fucking thumb. Look, go sucking it. Now, my poor fucking thumb. I mean, you gotta behave like a grown fucking man. You understand?
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up, huh? Give me that. You suck my dick and shut the fuck up, huh? Yeah! Yeah!
No beta man wrote that dialogue right there. No beta man wrote that. A real motherfucking man wrote that dialogue.
Yeah. That's that show Deadwood, man. That motherfucker's that motherfucker, man.
That's real man talk right there.
Oh, they don't understand that shit went by. He's like, oh my God, I can't tell. That's too many fucks. That was too many. There was one more bitch, and that was too many fucks. I can't. That's too much. All right, Chris, what was your question you were asking again?
My question is, I want to hear you guys' wisdom, knowledge, and understanding on a female who is trying to play hard to get, but you know if you keep talking to her, you gonna get what you want from her.
Well, how do you know if you gonna get what you want from her if she playing hard to get? You know she playing hard to get if you on the other side of the street, dog. See, here's the thing, dog. I don't look at a woman playing hard to get. I look at a woman as wasting my fucking time. I don't play that hard to get shit. I play that wasting my time shit. Look, my thing is this. Look, I'm gonna allow you to have, I don't know, maybe 30, 40 minutes of my time. I'm gonna give you a small window, but if you were playing that silly-ass shit thinking I'm some weak-ass motherfucker, then guess what? I don't got that time for that bullshit. That's when, again, Chris, I will call her out on her bullshit because I'm not that dude. And if you think I'm that dude, then you fucking with the wrong dude. Alan, what you got on that, man?
No, for me, you just pretty much summed it all up. I mean, yeah, Chris, you've been hearing me. I don't know how long you've been listening tonight, but see, a woman only going to play hard to get with a beta male. because she know he gonna stand around waiting.
You accept it.
And tolerate that bullshit. Ain't no alpha male gonna be standing around dealing with no woman's bullshit head games like that. Hard to get bullshit. Fuck that shit. I mean, it's like, Chris, you've been in certain stores and it says 1 week only. Sometimes say 1 weekend only. Sometimes say 1 day only. Shit. I don't. Hey, the way I look at my dick, number one, I don't value no woman's pussy more than I value my own dick. And you shouldn't either. Ain't nothing that woman's pussy got to offer you that your dick don't get to offer her. So you got to send a message to a woman that, hey, I ain't the one. You can have all these other guys jump through hoops, but I'm letting you know that I want to fuck the dog shit out of you. And if you don't want me to, as he said, then you let him know, don't waste my motherfucking time. That's what I'm going to miss my clip on my show from the movie Heat, where Al Pacino says, today you wasted my motherfucking time. Don't waste my motherfucking time. Don't ever let a bitch waste your motherfucking time.
All right.
Yeah. All right. So, well, Chris, we'll throw you back in the queue. Let me grab this other one. I think 734. Did you press the button? Did you have something to ask her?
No, I'm out.
Okay, we'll put you back in. Okay, no problem. All right, guys, if you have a question, press 1. We'll chop it up with you here with Alan, and we're here with Rhyme. Don't forget tomorrow, 12 o'clock noon Eastern Standard Time, myself and Rosebud Bitter Dose reading your emails and all this other stuff. But to get back with some of the bullet points and stuff, like I say, guys, unfortunately for a lot of you guys, you are really her chauffeur and her taxi. I mean, it could be 2:30 in the morning. She's not going to bring any money with her because not only does she know that you're going to pick her up, you're also going to feed her. And not only feed her, you're going to probably take her back to your place and you lay on your couch and let her sleep in your bed after someone like Alan or Rhyme gets done fucking her. And just, Rhyme, help me out. I mean, hey, it's like, damn, dog, don't let my juices get all on your bed, dog. I don't want to look like we fucking the shit. Right. What is up with that shit, Rhyme? I don't know. Did we lose? Let me see. I think we probably lost Rhyme. Let me see. I think we lost Rhyme out the queue. He must be talking to some bitch. I don't know what the fuck he doing. Anyway, Alan, what's your take on that shit, man?
Oh, yeah, man.
Hold on, Alan, wait. Before you say anything, we got another press one. I'm sorry. I don't mean to cut you. Because I'm trying to grab everyone to ask you your question. I definitely want to get them in to ask you a question or something. Area code 970. What's your name? Where you calling from, sir?
Hey, Dean. This is Peter calling from Colorado.
What's up, Peter? How you doing, big dog?
Hey, Peter.
I'm good. I just wanted to say hi to you and Alan and thank Alan for all the shows. I've been listening to them for 3 years now.
Oh,
and they've been really helpful.
Oh, I appreciate you saying that. Thank you, Peter.
So, yeah, I'm going to miss the show.
I'm trying everything I can, Peter. But go ahead. What you got, big dog?
Just wanted to share a couple stories, listen to your advice, and a lot of times when I go out to, like, bars, I'll be looking around, and, like, the last Friday, a girl comes my way, and I just start talking to her, and I get real direct, and then things are going pretty well, but sometimes, like, what I notice is beta males will come around, or her friends, and then kind of physically actually block me out from even talking to her anymore. So I just noticed that's happened more than once.
Okay, well, let's take one thing at a time. Let's take one thing at a time real quick. What I always tell you guys to do, if you're going to talk to a woman, especially when you go to a club, make sure you do your reconnaissance and see what's going on, the lay of the land. Because most of the time, women like that are hanging out with a lot of bitch-ass guys. And what I would do is, again, they might be the cock blockers to that chick. So either you could do two things. Remember, the mission impossible. Get in and get out. Let her know you like to holler at and all this other stuff. You would come up, here's my card. When you free, call me. Or you sit back and chill a little bit and wait till the little punk asses leave her alone, which they won't, dog. Alan, what you got on that, man?
Yeah. Well, basically, number one, everything you said. And I was going to ask Peter, you know there's a name. What would be the most appropriate name for those type of guys?
We call them
White Knight.
They're the cookie cutters.
Oh, you get it, yeah. They're a special brand of beta males called, and I talk about this in my, I don't know if you're familiar with my new book, The Beta Male Revolution. But there's a chapter where I talk about there's three types of specific types of beta males, what I call the lowest of the low on the beta male ladder. And that's incels, which is short for involuntarily celibate. Those guys that most guys would just call straight up losers. Then you got white knights, which are guys that will defend women all the time. Anything that's criticisms that are hurled their way, any type of, they always feel like they got to defend women. That women are the most innocent, wholesome, beautiful creatures on earth, and we have to defend them. And the first cousin to a white knight is a Captain Save-A-Ho. If white knights are the defenders, Captain Save-A-Ho's are the rehabilitators. They think they can rehabilitate a straight-up hoe and turn her into their wife or their long-term girlfriend. And, yeah, I've known that for years, man. There's a lot of women, particularly full-of-shit type women. What they do is they surround themselves with almost a little mini army of white knights. So when they go to clubs and different parties and stuff, they'll take, 3, 4, 5, 6, sometimes more white knight buddies that they use as cock blockers. And, Steve already gave advice. You got to kind of, size your surroundings, see what's up. You don't want to get into no verbal toe-to-toe unless you absolutely have to. With these white knights, I would go with Steve's suggestion that you just give them your card and then say, contact me, and then, save all your conversation for, your first telephone conversation. But, yeah, you just got to be prepared. And here's what's going to be even more. I'm going to tell you something that's going to be even more interesting that a lot of my male clients have dealt with. Do you have a lot of male friends, Peter?
I have a few that are just close friends. I oftentimes just go out on my own.
Okay, well, that's probably a good thing. I was going to say sometimes, and I hope this doesn't happen to you, but I know from experience it happens to a lot of guys. Sometimes your own friends will turn on you when you start being more direct with women. Like, say you might hang out, let's say you got a friend named Joe and another friend named Billy, and you say you've been cool with them for 10 years, you think Joe and Billy are your boys. Then all of a sudden you start talking to women in a more direct manner, and Billy says, hey, Peter, you're my guy, man, but, man, you need to be more of a gentleman with women, man. You're too direct, man. You need to ask them about how their day is going, how things are at their job. I mean, just be more respectful, man. I mean, what's with all this? I mean, who are you listening to? This Steve the Dean Williams guy? I mean, fuck him, man. You got to be a gentleman, Peter. So just be prepared for that. That I ain't gonna say it definitely gonna happen, but it could happen.
Yeah, they won't understand it. They'll say, that you can't say that. You got to be more appropriate. These girls.
All right. What was your other situation, man?
If there's a bartender you might like, would you do the same thing? Just kind of get in, get out, leave her your number, and maybe not talk too much?
I'll say mine. Let Alan go ahead. What he has to say. When it comes to bartenders, it's really tricky because, like I always say with strip clubs, I don't go to the strip club to see the bitch dance. I go to the strip club to hang out with my boys. If I want to pick up a stripper, I'm gonna wait till 2, 3, 3:30 and go to an IHOP or a Denny's that's close by, and I'm gonna meet one of them bitches here and there and get them out of their environment. Bartenders are the same way. Their job is to wear some tight ass jeans, be personable, and make the guys feel like they got a shot, just so they can keep buying more drinks and more drinks. What I would do in two situations: number one, they do take breaks. Some of them take smoke breaks. Some got to go piss or something like that. As soon as she leaves the bar, what I would do is, again, I'm not trying to hold you up. I know you're busy, but you know what? You get a chance, why don't you give me a call? I like to take, let her know what the reason is. I always tell you, let her know why you are doing what you're doing. I like to get to know you, whatever the fuck you want to say. You have an array of things to say. But I would do it that way. But I would not try to pick her up at a bar, because here's the thing. You don't know if her sugar daddy is at that bar, so to speak. You don't know who's at that bar. It could be your boyfriend. It could be you don't know who's at that bar, that insecure motherfucker just keeping his eye on her. You have no idea, and I want you to be safe. So I'd rather you wait for her to get out of that environment to talk to her, and then let's see how things work. But other than that, man, it'll be kind of hard, because their job is to get you to drink as much as they can. Alan, what you got on that, big dog?
Yeah, I don't know if I can really add anything. Yeah, Peter. Just pretty much every. I am going to add one little side note. Peter, have you ever watched a show called South Park?
Oh yeah, definitely.
I haven't watched it in a while, but I used to love that show when it first came. They had just so many good episodes. And related to something Steve said in his feedback, when he's talking about the thing that stuck out for me is when he talked about, for a lot of female bartenders, it's their job to make you think you got a chance. Are you familiar with my books?
Yes. Yeah, I've read them all.
Okay. Then you know about my book, The Possibility of Sex, right?
Yep. Yeah. Got the
okay, I'm
gonna
quiz you real quick there. What's the gist of the? Why did I title that book "The Possibility of Sex"?
Women give you the idea that you have a shot, and that way they can manipulate you a little bit.
Okay, yeah. See, the simple thing is, man, when it comes to women who are highly manipulative, the most manipulative ammunition a woman gains is not when she gives you a quick, definite yes or a quick, definite no, which is what Mode 1 is all about, is trying to get a woman to give you either the quick, straightforward yes or the quick, straightforward no. Because, see, both of those take away a woman's ability to manipulate you. If you tell a woman basically you want to fuck her and she says, yes, I want you to fuck me, how can she manipulate you?
Right.
If you let her know you want to fuck her and she quickly, straightforwardly says, no, you'll never fuck me, how can she manipulate you? But here's where she can manipulate you, is when you give her a sign that you want to fuck her, either directly or indirectly, and she says, hey, Peter, I don't know, let's play it by ear. I'm going to take some weeks to get to know you, and who knows, you might get lucky. She wants to put out there that you have the possibility of fucking her. But you in most cases, you really don't. And anyway, what I was going to link South Park to it, they had this cute episode. Oh, man. It was funny. It was called, they did a takeoff on Hooters, and they called it Raisins.
Raisins.
And Steve made an important point when he talked about women like bartenders and other women who work different jobs, waitresses, you could say. See, a lot of those women, they're told to be flirty with guys, to enhance like their tips and all that shit. So I forget which of all the names of the South Park characters, but one of the more naive of the bunch, this waitress was being just really friendly with him and even extra flirtatious with him. And he took that on face value. He literally thought the chick, was digging him. So he started kind of like semi-stalking her and shit, because he thought she was really digging him. But what he noticed after if she wasn't working, she didn't want shit to do with him. And he couldn't get that initially. He was thinking like, damn, why is she acting like a bitch when she ain't at work, but she's so sweet to me when she works? Because that was her fucking job. So that's the thing you got to watch out for, as Steve laid out so perfectly, is that that's the tricky thing about hitting on women depending on what their job is. Like, again, like jobs like waitresses and bartenders and that type of thing, it's their job to be extra friendly and extra flirty and shit. You got to try to catch them out, as Steve said, out of that environment.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Yeah, that's one thing that they are the. Like I say, I would never pick up a stripper at a club, because it's just they can smell the weak guys, and they know the ones who have money. They get them up to the VIP, they rub on them a little bit, and they just want to keep paying. Because, don't get me wrong, to have a beautiful woman all over you and make you feel great is intoxicating. But I don't, like I say, I don't give a, hey, look, I've messed with strippers. I don't give a fuck what they do with them motherfuckers. They bring money home. I'm not a pimp, and I never say I was. But they would bring the money home and like, look what I got, oh my God, I got all this money. You want some? And all this other shit. That's just how it is, dog. It's like they want to do for us. Because again, let me ask you this question, big dog. If you saw a unicorn in the woods, you will either capture it or you'll tell somebody. Am I correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
Exactly. So when they meet a man, it's no different from like say the men are with the elves, unicorns, and smurfs. We are figments of imagination. Women hear about us. They hear stories about us. But once they actually get with us, they will do anything they possibly can to either keep us around, or they will sell us to their girlfriends where we get to fuck them. That's the lifestyle. I'm not saying we get all the women, because that's not true. I'd be lying to you. We don't get them all, but damn sure we get enough. And there are some women who won't fuck with us because they don't know what they will become when they're with us, or they don't want to give up the reign of power that they have over the cookie cutter. Alan?
Mm-hmm. Oh, again, you just broke the shit down. I mean, I'll put it like this. If all guys got what Steve just said in just the last 2 minutes, the sad thing is I would almost be out of business. I would have to retire from being a dating coach. Because, I mean, he just pretty much summed it up. I mean, there wouldn't be no point in me even people paying me for advice. Because, I mean, the guys who had the hardest time getting what Steve just said is, again, all these guys who've had all this I call it beta male social programming. In the same way I use the term social programming, Steve usually says mindset. There's different guys with different mindsets. And if you're one of these guys, and I used to have these message board battles with a lot of guys, particularly guys from Europe for some reason. A lot of guys from Europe, not picking on, if I got European listeners right now, I want to pick on you guys, but, and because there's definitely some guys like this here in the States too. But a lot of guys back in the day from Europe would challenge me and say, Alan, I like you and everything, but one problem I have with you make women out to seem like they're just the most manipulative creatures in the world. And I want to tell you, women are God's beautiful creatures that he put on earth. They're just beautiful, loving creatures. And they just didn't want to see no wrong in women. But yet, some of these same men who were trying to debate me were always whining and complaining about women. It's because they don't understand what Steve just broke down. See, your listeners, and this is not just for Peter, this is for all you male listeners, whether you're listening live or as an archive. You got to understand this. Most women, particularly the ones who are more cute, more sexy, starting with the age of as early as, 14, 15, 16, 17, people around them, the mothers, sisters, whoever, lead them to believe that they can get guys to do anything they want them to do as long as they offer them the possibility of pussy. Anything. They could get men to treat them to free lunches, free dinners, free movies, free concerts, pay for their car note, pay for their rent or mortgage, just anything. They look at so these women grow up believing that their pussy is a form of currency and it's a great form of manipulative power. Manipulative power. So imagine how a woman feels when she walks out every day in her tight skirt and her blouse that shows her tits. She feels like for every 10 men I meet, no less than 9 of them, I'm going to be able to manipulate them to do whatever I want them to do. And then as Steve broke down, then they run across the unicorn. They run across a motherfucker who has a reaction like, bitch, I ain't treating you to no fucking 5-star lunch dinner. Are you crazy? You know how many women I got lined up to suck my dick? The fuck you talking about? I ain't gonna buy you a new watch. Are you out your goddamn mind? Bitch, you gonna have to buy me a watch to suck my dick. Now,
so I guess
she's going to have an angry reaction because she's going to be like, you asshole, you motherfucker, you jerk, blah, blah, blah. But all while she's saying in her mind, she's saying, God damn, where did he come from? He must be from another planet. I can't use my pussy to manipulate this motherfucker. He's talking to me like I'm just some regular bitch. Then they get intrigued.
You're a unicorn at that point.
They get intrigued and they say, shit, I want some of that dick.
You know what, Denver, there's this thing in the UK that I saw years ago called rinsing. And what women do, especially on Facebook, and this is what y'all guys don't even see this one coming. This one is beautiful. This is like a Mona Lisa. What they do is they will put a picture of themselves acting all like stupid. Well, how do I look in this dress, or how do I look in this outfit? And what you'll notice underneath her is that you'll see beautiful, sexy, gorgeous. I would marry her tomorrow. Beautiful, sexy, gorgeous. That's all they're saying. And what these women will do is they know those guys are going to try to friend them on the back end or try to chat with them. So once they accept their friend request, because most people keep their stuff private, once you are on their friends list, you're able to see what kind of job they have and what kind of income they have. So what these women do is they bring you in, they let you, like it's all about gingerbread, but it's a reverse. They let the guy see the gingerbread house in the picture. They let him taste the gingerbread house in the conversation. But when they come inside, she knows how much he's worth and how much he's making. And then that's when the game really begins, because that's when, and I'll throw it to Alan, that's when she either uses the crocodile tears or gets angry or dangles the pussy in front of him. Alan, what you got on that, man?
Yeah, I mean, basically in a nutshell, every man that a woman perceives to be a beta male is a target. Period. They're a target. And that's why, see, this is why a lot of women don't like my mode 1 approach. It goes back to what I said a few minutes ago, is because when I'm mode 1, what I do is I put a woman in position where she has to either quickly and straightforwardly let me know she's interested in sharing my company in a romantic or sexual manner, or that or let me know quickly and straightforwardly that she's not. And what that does, and since you say you're familiar with all my books, you might remember this story I told in that book, The Possibility of Sex. There was a woman in Chicago. I'll tell this quick story for Steve's listeners. They probably haven't read this book and they wouldn't know this story. But real quickly, I had a woman I knew that lived in Chicago. And me and her had messed around, and then we kind of transitioned, I guess you could say, into being just cool. And so sometimes, this was before the days of cell phones and shit, so I would just, if I was in her neighborhood in Chicago, I would just stop by. So I stopped by one day, and she had a new roommate there who was a sexy motherfucker. And let's say the woman I was cool with, let's say her name was Denise. So I said, hey, is Denise home? And she said, no, Denise stepped out, but I said, okay, just tell her Alan came by and I'll catch her some other time. She said, no, she should be back in about 45 minutes to an hour. I said, well, then I'll go grab some food and then maybe come back an hour after. She said, well, actually, if you want to, you can just stay here, and keep me company until she comes back. So I said, okay. And now, normally, I would have tried to fuck this woman immediately. But because I had already been with, her roommate, I didn't want to just be foul like that. So I exercised self-discipline. But here was the kicker. So she tries to engage me in small talk, and Steve and anybody else Peter, you a follower of mine. I hate small talk. She started, talking about the weather and just basically bullshit. And I would give her a look. I wouldn't so much say anything. I would give her a look like, do what you got to do and leave me alone. So she announces, she says, I'm going to take a shower. And I jokingly said, wow, I'm fascinated. I mocked her. She gave me a glare like, you motherfucker. So she goes into the bedroom, comes out with a towel on. And I could tell she was expecting me to be like, damn, you looking sexy in that towel. But I just, was looking at my magazines and shit. And she said, oops. And she let it drop. And I saw her all in her beautiful birthday suit glory. But I was cool, though. See, some thirsty motherfuckers would have been like, damn, baby, damn, your buddy is shit, don't fuck. I just looked at it like I had seen 2,000 of them type bodies. Just went back to read my magazine. So I could tell that frustrated. So she went in the bathroom, came out, then she let it drop again. She said, oh, my God, I just can't keep this tail up. So at that point, I say, tell me your name again. I can't remember her real name. Let's say her name was Danielle. She said, Danielle. I said, Danielle, come on here. She said, yeah, what's up? I said, so you get ready to suck my dick? Excuse me? Now, Peter, you probably know from listening to my show, my classic line when a woman says, excuse me, I say, you're excused. So I said, you're excused. She said, did you just say what I think you said? I said, yeah, I didn't stutter. I said, are you going to suck my dick? She said, no, I just met you, Alan. Golly, you're a bad boy. I said, yeah, so am I about to, have your legs on my shoulders and I'm going to fuck the shit out that pussy? No, you just met me, Alan. Oh, my God. Denise told me you were a piece of work, but you're something. You're a character. I said, yeah, whatever. So let me get this straight. So you're not going to suck my dick, correct or incorrect? She said, I would have to say that's correct. I said, and we're not going to fuck. She said, yeah, I would have to say that's correct. I said, okay, then go in the bathroom and take your goddamn shower and leave me the fuck alone. Do you understand that? Anything about that you don't understand? She said, and this is when she started getting pissed. First she was lighthearted. Then when I told her that, she got pissed. Now, before I go on, Peter, why did she get pissed?
She couldn't manipulate you anymore.
There you go. She realized she couldn't. I wasn't a motherfucker who could be manipulated and go for them bullshit games. So I told her very adamant. I said, go in that bathroom and take your goddamn shower and leave me the fuck alone. So she goes in the bathroom and slams the door real hard. And then she opens it back up a few seconds later and just has her hand on her hips and she just looks at me. She just glares at me. And she says, fuck you, Alan. And when women say that to me, I like to mock her. I said, I love you too. And I blew her a kiss. And she said, no, really, I hate guys like you. And I mocked her. I said, why do you hate guys like me? She said, because guys like you take, and this is why I included this in my book. This was a key dialogue right here. She said, guys like you take the fun out of being a woman. And I knew where she was going with this, but I played it down. I said, I'm not understanding. She said, see, I'm going to give you a little clue about us. Here's some women's psychology for you, Mr. Allen. A woman like me, we love to dick tease men and toy with men's egos And she went on to say, essentially, possibly sex, and make them feel like they have a chance at getting in their pants when we know we really don't want to, or at least at that time we don't want to. And see, you're forcing me to either say, yes, I want you to fuck me, or no, I don't want you to fuck me. I said, exactly. That's how it's supposed to be. She said, but no, you're taking away all the fun of being a woman. You're not allowing me to use my feminine charms. I said, no, what you're really saying is, I'm not allowing you to manipulate my motherfucking ass. And she knew I was on point, but she tried to deny that word. She said, I don't like that word. I'll just say, you're not allowing me to use my feminine charms to their highest degree. That's what we were put on earth for. That's what she said. And there's a famous woman. I posted this at the time. It was months ago. God, who was she married? The dude who made there's those crazy movies. Golly, what's his name? She's married to him. Barack or something? Where he does these movies where he's acting, but the people in the movie around him don't know he's acting, and they take him serious.
Oh, okay.
He just had a movie where anyway, I'll think his name. But anyway, he's married. The chick he's married to came out. She caused controversy about 8-9 months ago. Because she said in an interview, she said, I love being a woman because women were put on earth to manipulate men. And I do it all the time. And that's what this bitch in that apartment was saying that day. She said, Alan, by you preventing me from manipulating you, you're denying me the opportunity to fully be a woman. And I just said, so let me ask you again, are you going to suck my dick? No, then get in, close the damn door, and leave me the fuck alone. And she slammed it again. But I appreciated her letting me know, her articulating what I always knew. And what I said in the book, she was actually one of the first women to actually come straight out and admit that. But that's letting you guys know, listening to the show, man, if you're a beta male, man, you're a target. Women are always going to be looking to exploit you, fuck with you, toy with you. But they ain't trying to suck your dick. They ain't trying to give you no pussy. Or in the few cases that they are going to give you pussy, it's going to be more like a doggy treat. Like, I'm going to give you some pussy right now so that you'll buy me a Rolex watch. I'm going to give you some pussy right now so you'll pay my car note. It ain't genuine pussy.
Yeah, we got like 3 minutes. I'm going to try to wrap this up real quick. But what happens is a lot of these women, Big Dog, they will... at 25, I told you, they got two pathways. They got one where they use their body to find a husband, or they use their body to get free drinks, meals, and all the other shit that they getting. But the problem is once they get past 30 and they know the eggs are drying up, the metabolism slowing down, and then you got these up and coming other chicks, what happens is that's when they will marry guys who are weak for security purposes. Not, or unless they want a child or something like that, they will marry those kinds of guys, but they will never be in love with you or never give you the respect, because I'm sure you know people that need hall passes to go out. They can't go nowhere. They get yelled at, screamed at, disrespected, and all other stuff. But anyway, we can talk about more of that next week, but we want to wrap. We got 2 minutes to go, but I do want to say again, Alan, I really do. It's an honor, and I really do appreciate it from the bottom of my heart that you came on, man. Like, we got nothing but love and respect for what you have done for the last 9 years, man. You really did some good shit, brother, and I just wanted to say that to you and all my listeners and let them know that, Alan's a badass motherfucker. And but Alan, I'm gonna let you run this out the last 2 minutes, say what you got to say. But I just want to say real quick, guys, don't forget to check us out tomorrow, 12 o'clock noon on the D&W show, and Rosebud at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Sunday. www.themanmindset.com. I'm going to shut the fuck up. And, Alan, you going to run this bitch because you got 1 minute, sir. Go.
Just quick, directapproachdating.com. That's where you can reach me, directapproachdating.com. And thank you, Steve, for allowing me to pop in. I told Steve I'm going to pop in his show here and there. He wants me to do something more regular. I'm resisting that right now, but I am going to pop in his show.
Sign it, guys.
But yeah, directdatingapproach.com. Go in there. I got all my different coaching, email, Skype, telephone, and one-on-one face-to-face. And, yeah, man, I had a great time, 9 years, man. But, you know, time to move on. And I just love all you guys, man. Appreciate all you guys supporting me. Thank you so much.
All right, guys, we will. Yeah, who gave you that shit? Why don't you tell me who gave you that shit? Y'all think y'all know where number one came from? That shit came from
I told you that you were the second person to say it like that, but yeah, you probably popularized it a lot more.
Yeah. I did it all, goddamn it. Okay. All right, guys, y'all be safe. Have a good night. This is www.themanmindset.com. Well, I mean, fucking Mo, thank you so much, dog. And you know, I'm not trying to be different. That's just the way I am, motherfucker.
Cut that bitch off.
All right, man. We out this motherfucker, man. Peace out, man. Peace, man.
Peace.
When you don't go to Geico.com, car insurance can seem intense. Like breakup R&B intense.
I thought you said you loved the sweater that I got you. If you didn't, you could have told me.
Geico makes it easy. Just go to Geico.com anytime to update or check your policy without all the extra drama.
I even had a gift receipt.
When I listen to Audible, I'm not riding the L train during rush hour. I'm hunting whales with the crew of the Pequod. I can feel the cold air in my face and the icy spray of the Atlantic crashing against the bow. The smell of rotting blubber fills my nostrils. There she blows, boys! Dead ahead! It's the White Whale! This is my stop. Excuse me. Pardon me. Sorry.
Go to audible.com/start trial and your first download is free. Audible. Stories that surround you.